by saying extremely derogatory things about her, which some of those things, it's not illegal, it's not a violation of the law, but it did cause harm to that child. So
Now,
in my opinion, they have grounds for a civil lawsuit.
Now, I'm trying to think of amendments right now, but wouldn't it technically violated their Fourth Amendment right? Because you do have the right to privacy, so they do have the right to digital privacy, or does that just
Well,
go
that's
towards,
How
companies?
did Corey get the picture? He didn't go into a yearbook or a photo album and get it.
It doesn't matter where he got the picture, because he could have got the picture off of Facebook where the parents posted it, which they have a right to post it. You see what I'm saying? So it just because it's on the internet, that doesn't necessarily make it fair game.
It doesn't make it illegal either, though. It's illegal. It's what the
I didn't
law
say it was illegal.
No, I'm saying it's the thing that we would have to iron out through the legal process.
No, that part was a violation.
Because they're not arguing whether or not it was legal. They're arguing the damage that what he did caused. They're not arguing whether or not it was legal.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing, because this is going to get
sign these things with these.
Okay, here's the thing, because problem is we're in uncharted territory, so to speak. And the reason why is because even though the internet has been around.
Hold up, Angry Man. Somebody has an echo. Chris, I think it's you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Angry Man.
So we're in uncharted territory because even though the internet has been around for a while, it's just been recent that many of us have come on to YouTube and we up here conversing and doing all of this stuff, right? The internet has been the Wild West for a while, right? But as you know, once you develop the Wild West, you have to have some type of laws and stuff.
Correct.
Doxing is something that people do a lot. You feel me? And eventually that's going to have to get mapped out as far as whether that's legal or not. If somebody comes to the internet and they use a pseudonym and they don't want their real name out there, they don't want their address out there, that falls into the territory of civil rights. Somebody violating your civil rights. You feel what I'm saying? To privacy and all of those things, right? So sooner or later, that's going to have to be mapped out.
Thanks. I want to. Jesus, my phone is going off. Y'all go ahead. If y'all got anything that y'all wanted to add before I go ahead.
Well, I would ask Angry Man, but on the last thing that you said, well, once they decide to be a public figure and come on the internet, they're just like Jay-Z. Everybody know his name, Sean Carter. You don't get that expectation of privacy once you become a public figure.
Jay-Z told us his name was Sean Carter in Dead Presidents. He said, you know this nigga, Jay-Z, Sean Carter, GS the fuck up, Trieste, like, come on, man. He told us his name.
We know most of these rappers' real government name.
Cause they tell they real government name.
Then at what point did Leslie decide to be a public figure? When did she say, yeah, I'm cool?
I wasn't talking about Leslie. I was talking about the last point that Angry Man had made.
So,
but no, I hadn't. She's not a public figure.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Fair enough. Let me ask you this then, right? Let me ask you this. So, let's say for argument, you in your crib, right? And let's say that there's a police officer that he went to school with you. You know, a dude went to school with you and he became a police officer after y'all got grown. Now, he know back in the day you used to smoke weed and shit. He like, yeah, man, he used to chief it up all the time. I know he got weed in that crib. Do that police officer get to walk in your crib just because because he personally know you got weed in there?
No.
Why?
Because he doesn't have any current probable cause.
And you have a right to what? You have a right to what? Privacy
and illegal search and seizures. Against illegal search and seizures.
Okay. Now, this is something that I've pointed out that a lot of people ain't talked about, right? You got people getting convicted because of stuff on their social media page, even if their social media page is private. That's a violation. And because it's on the internet, it's treated differently. And that's what I'm saying. Sooner or later, what we do on the internet is going to have to align with what our rights are off of the internet, because we're still people on the internet. So when you have somebody like Corey Holcomb just deciding, you know what, I'm going to hit you where it hurts. I'm going to put your child up there and I'm going to talk crazy about your child. Something has to be done about that. You can't just set a tone to where anybody can just start going in on your family members that ain't got nothing to do with what you're doing online.
Yeah, because that's going to escalate.
So it would be a Fourth Amendment violation then, because you do have digital privacy. But I'm not sure completely. Does it falls like, is it just companies to an individual, or can it be individual to individual?
3-Man, let me pose you this question. Do you have children, 3-Man?
Adopted.
Okay. At my place of work,
That wasn't a question, though.
we have a media policy.
Yes.
Yeah. At my place of work, we have a media policy, right? And in this media policy, just like in school with your children, you have to sign something. You have to give the school permission to take your child's picture. And when they go on a field trip or something like that, you have to sign off on these things. You have to give them consent to utilize your child's likeliness. Like, let's say they want to use your child picture for like a banner or for a poster or something they want to use in the school. They have to get consent from you before they do that. Without them getting your consent, they open themselves up to lawsuits. That's what getting consent is. The same thing goes for social media. Same thing goes for mainstream media news and all this, that, and the other. The problem is we have a situation where this thing called paparazzi and the what is it called? I can't remember what it is called, where the news can pretty much report on whatever because they have a journalistic right to do so.
Some type of journalistic credibility that allows them to do it.
Right. So the argument that was being made last night is that as a media figure, which Corey Holcomb can be assumed to be because he's an entertainer and comedian, Corey Holcomb technically he has the right to put up Anton's daughter because he's like a media person.
Well, E-Black should know better because he knows good and damn well Corey Holcomb is not no fucking journalist. So that right there is going to get thrown out of the conversation.
But even worse,
he's not even TMZ.
But even worse than that, Christopher, you got all of these people up here trying to defend Corey Holcomb shit from the aspect of him being a comedian or him being a freaking public figure or whatever, right? But here's the reality. Corey Holcomb isn't even in compliance with YouTube's terms of service.
Sure not.
Right there.
He's not even supposed to, his channel ain't even supposed to be there right now behind what he just did.
Yeah. Technically, his channel is supposed to be gone.
Technically. And also
they
people
can choose when they want to enforce them. They done did all types of shit to my baby on this internet.
And I'm gonna use
now, look, wait. Hold on. Let me ask Trey a question. Let me ask Trey a serious question. Now, how do you feel about that, brother?
I ignore it. The first time it happened, I was pissed the fuck off. And since then, I've just trained myself to ignore it, except for the time CPS called me and I had to deal with them. But other than that, I just tune it out and I don't react. Do I like it? No, but I know it's some fucked up people out here.
Look, bro, I want them to keep that same energy across the board. Apply the rules equally.
Exactly.
And let me use this as an example real quick. Charlamagne, when he does Dunk of the Day, Charlamagne has been sued for some of the things he has said on Dunk of the Day. Power 1051, Breakfast Club, these people, they just settle out of court. They're not going to deal with that. These are Charlamagne's words, not mine. So you can get sued for the shit that you say and the shit that you post. This is where Corey Holcomb is in right now. So is he going to accept his lawsuit or is he going to settle like he did with the other situation?
Correct. Also, let me say this before we continue, because I see y'all are tearing the chat up. Thank you to each and every last one of y'all that's keeping the engagement up. Hopefully, y'all have liked the stream. If you're watching on vertical, please double tap your screen. If you're watching on horizontal, go ahead, hit the like, hit the share, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Let me read these super chats right quick, and then I want to get to a few things that I saw in the chat. Through the Fire podcast, RBN without out says, how is there any debate that in the closet Corey was foul for posting a minor? Corey is not a victim.
Thank you.
Be Streamer without out says, y'all better hope this crap don't fly, because any creator that reviews content violates at least half the things in this lawsuit. And then Brain with $2 says, Corey has community message YouTube privilege.
Yep.
We gonna see, because the closer this get to as soon as they come up with a court date, we gonna see. Corey channel might not make it to the beginning of this lawsuit if it actually gets into a courtroom.
Possibly. And then Edenman Williams with $2 says, another dark-skinned man expressing his feelings. Appreciate you for the super chats. Make sure y'all support the show. Ugly Streaming says that Anton brothers say it didn't cause her harm.
How they know?
How would they know? They're not. Their feelings and her feelings are two different things. Her feelings is the one that has to be addressed.
Yeah, because they don't have an axe to grind.
Absolutely.
You know, but my thing is this. Let me just throw this in real quick, because somebody said a few minutes ago about it being fucked up people in the world. So them fucked up people, not just on the internet. She could be going to school with some of them fucked up people. Some of them fucked up people could be at them taekwondo matches and feel like because Corey, you know what I'm saying, was able to say what he wanted to say, they can say what they want to say and take it a step further. One of these fucked up people that y'all was talking about could actually try to put their hands on her. Now what?
Pain and suffering, punitive damage.
And then that's when you go into other responsibilities and things
Hold
of
on,
that nature.
hold on. Hold up, Trey. Christopher's talking, then you got it, Trey. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I'm good. I just said pain and suffering, punitive damage. I don't know what Corey Holcomb was thinking, but he really fucked up on this one.
I just got one question, because I'm confused, man. This is really confusing me.
Mm-hmm.
If it's open season on black women, why do I get so much flack for criticizing black women?
I have a sound effect for that. Just give me 1 second.
Because niggas is trying to have sex with black women.
Because I'm trying my best to figure out where are all of the protect black women people at.
That ain't got nothing to do with this.
They got everything to do with it.
Right now,
Nothing. Y'all be glad I ain't on my body.
It's Anton.
And that's why I corrected myself.
Almanaz, you know full and well that when it comes to our community, they pick and choose when they want to defend black women. They pick and choose. Like if it's a situation where they feel like they don't like the narrative, right? They're gonna defend black women to the fullest. They're gonna go ham. They're gonna cancel people. They're gonna do all of that shit. But when it's a narrative they like,
they down.
Like they down with it. And right now, this shit is sad because Anton's daughter ain't did nothing to nobody. Right. Anton's wife ain't did nothing to nobody. I met Rita. She is the nicest person I ever want to meet. And it's sad that they got to be cannon fodder. You feel what I'm saying? For this situation. And it's not Anton's fault because Anton was going back and forth with Corey. Anton didn't pull Corey's family into this shit. Not at all. And he could have, because Corey himself has provided more than enough information for tons of content on his jacked up family situation. Absolutely. If Anton wanted to be grimy, as big as his platform is, he could have reached out to Corey's daughter. He could have reached out to Corey's baby mama. I know they got plenty to say. And you know it.
Uncle Streaming. I'm sorry, not Uncle Streaming. Brain says the rules made for ninjas is not for the angry man. Uncle Streaming says, did Anton protect his black women? That's another.
Doing it now. He's doing it right now.
Uncle Streaming, get out of my notes. Uncle Streaming. That's the next point I was making. That's what I was about to bring up next. Hey, Will, don't you hate when the audience beat you to your talking points? Because then it makes right copying them. yeah. It'd be the bullshit. I don't know who this is in the chat, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get you up out of there, big homie. We don't need that. We don't need that type of thing. So now AM don't understand the game. You cross someone and your family can become collateral. That's not how that works.
Why we keep going there?
So number one, brother, I
That's
do
not how
understand the
legality
game.
works.
Hold on, I do understand the game because niggas did the same shit to me.
Mm.
Niggas pulled my family into the shit, and I'm not gonna say no names, but a couple of them niggas paid the price for the shit too.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So it's not. Look, right now as we speak, there's some individuals that's about to go to prison behind their activities on YouTube, trolling people and cyber stalking people and shit. So don't think it can't get real. It can get real.
This is why even yesterday when I titled the show the way I titled the show, the internet has now entered the courtroom, right? And this is not the first instance, even with Angry Man, what's happening with Anton and Corey right now. There's been a multitude of content creators who have ended up in the courtroom. We all know about Cardi B and Tasha K. Everybody knows about that. There's a few channels that I've been on where they even covered other incidents of where the internet entered the courtroom. This thing where now people are depending on the law or the judges or the federal government to settle their basic human behavior, to me is kind of sickening. But in this particular instance, it doesn't have to go that far, but we're here now. We have to deal with what's going on right now. Go ahead, Angry Man.
And by the way, with the Cardi B situation, they didn't have a problem with that shit either. They didn't have a problem with that Dominican woman taking that black woman to task and charging her up with $4 million. In fact, they thought it was funny.
And rallied to try to help her raise the money to pay her.
Yep.
So,
but was she not supposed to sue her though for saying she had an STD?
She was. Yeah, she was supposed to sue her for that.
Yeah, she was supposed to sue her.
But she could have just took the video down. A lot of this shit be self-inflicted. She could have just took the video down.
Well, this Corey situation is
Corey could have took the video down.
Yeah, Corey didn't have to be despicable. But Corey hasn't had a judgment against him yet, so he's still good right now.
Oh, yeah, more for real.
But Trey, I gotta call you on your shit.
Hold on one second. Edie Man, can you come on camera? Oh, he is on camera. What up, Edie Man?
I gotta call you on
cut it back off.
I gotta call you on your shit, Trey. Why didn't Tasha K saying that Cardi B allegedly had an STD? Why wasn't that covered under free speech?
Because it was a lie. You saying somebody ugly is opinionated.
That's not all he said.
That's not all he said.
That ain't all he said.
That ain't all he said.
What else did he say? I got those two things. What else did he say?
He said that she was a les, you know what?
Rock, paper, scissors.
But he said, he said she was going back.
He was out here
buy box.
That's still not. That's talking shit too. That's not saying you're factual going to do that.
Hey, where I come from, saying somebody got the herpes, talking shit.
Out of here.
That's talking shit too.
Trey, you gotta be consistent.
Corey has a judgment of $4 million. Then we can revisit this.
And by the way, did they ever do any testing in that case to find out if that was a lie?
They testified.
I don't think they did.
I don't know if they tested though.
I think with Cardi B, I think she had
to take the video down.
No, I think her doctor submitted a statement saying that it wasn't true.
He did? Okay.
I think he did.
Okay, because I was trying to figure out how she won that case if they did.
So I think the problem is that Tasha K presented it as a fact, not an opinion. And that's why she ended up losing that case. What Corey Holcomb presented about Anton's daughter is up in the air. Some people say, like Unc B Streaming, he says that's an opinion too. Some people say it's an opinion. Some people say that he was just joking and it was just satire. E Black said last night that that it's a war of words, and he brought up a few cases that talked about, you know, the incident where if I have a back and forth with Angry Man, I have a back and forth with Angry Man, and whatever happens between the two of us, either to our brands, to our health, that's between us two. If something happens to Angry Man's family, it's not a war of words anymore because they are not. They're not the ones that's involved in this. Now, in this particular situation, this is why I'm bringing this up, because Unc B Streamer says, so we're going to ignore Anton talking shit for a whole week. That doesn't matter. He can talk all the shit that he wants to.
I don't
I
understand why we keep saying.
And I think y'all missed it. Y'all missed it. Corey didn't say nothing for a whole week. Listen,
does
it
that
is
mean?
not. I'm about to tell you what that means. I can say whatever I want about Angry Man. If Angry Man don't tell me it's a problem in court, they go say, how did he know that was a problem? What happened, the reason this is bad, and I think Anton actually got a chance of winning this case, is that he was told not to do it. And then Corey doubled down. This is where the quote unquote bullying come in. Because
Yes.
now somebody warned you not to do something and you double down and do it again. Now you can't say you was ignorant that it was bullying.
Mhm.
I'm telling you right now. So you can't say, well, he talked for a week. Corey was silent for that whole week. Corey went live Thursday, and guess what? Anton did not say nothing after Corey went live. That's why he went live for a week.
Mm.
But
Okay.
you know,
And
y'all
don't
ain't never
forget the
been no
t-shirt.
courtroom.
But let's be real about the Anton going
I was
live.
saying,
Though.
don't forget that Corey put all three of them on a t-shirt though, as well.
He
So
did. That was
what E-Man is saying.
Yeah. But the thing is, folks keep talking about Anton went on this victory tour. Anton did this. Anton did that. Anton is always popping in and out of people's, streams to see what's going on. What Anton did was he pulled up to each and every one of them boot licking. Let me jump on this and see if I could get popping ass niggas who was like, I bet you Anton ain't gonna come up here. Anton showed the hell up. So I don't understand why we calling that a victory tour. Like he just fired up a bunch of live streams and was like, let me tell y'all about how I'm flexing on these niggas. Nah, he pulled up because they said he would.
But y'all don't realize. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
I would have went on a victory tour too. If I was on your show in person and you told me I was kissing Caucasian ass, and then I tell you sucking D, and you get up like you tough and come sit in front of me and start talking shit, and then I say, I tell you what, homeboy, let's go outside, and you don't go outside, I'm gonna talk shit about that for a month.
And I think people don't realize it's a lot of people with their legs crossed watching this case. Because you don't understand this. If Anton win this case, this is gonna open up the floodgates. You know how many people can sue Corey if they can prove this one?
Go been suing Corey.
Yeah, so I'm just telling you, like, y'all think this is the first lawsuit. Even if Corey settled, I think we're gonna see 4 or 5 more cases at the minimum.
He got one coming with Poetic Flacco.
My bad, y'all. I spilled water all over my desk. Y'all
I
continue.
saw you.
Yeah, Rob must came in the room and got him nervous, man.
Yeah.
You got to tell us stop beating on you like that.
Hey, I saw you fumbling and
As
shit.
you saw me fumbling.
You gotta stop fumbling, bro.
Hey, my bad.
You gotta move with purpose. Anytime you move with hesitation, you feel me?
But I do
get
think
this together.
gonna
Y'all hold
settle.
it down for us.
Yeah, I do think this case is gonna settle. It all depends on Anton, but I think that
I think he wants a settlement.
He can't settle it.
It's not really.
What?
I think he gonna settle. I think he find up all these 5150 shows. This is why he started selling t-shirts. He trying to sell t-shirts and mugs.
But I don't think the money is gonna be enough for Anton.
But it's not about it. Well, the money's not.
Hold on. Get on 5150 and apologize.
What I'm saying is the money. Hold on, the money. It's not up to Anton if it's settled or not, right? It's up to Rita and his daughter, because that's who the settlement goes.
Decision on that.
No, I'm just saying based on law, right? So the point that I'm saying is, I think what's going to really come down to is, believe it or not, if Corey can't move in this way, he really don't have a show. Like, people don't understand, this is the end to Corey.
Well, see, okay, E-Man, let me ask you this. And I personally haven't heard anybody, discuss this particular part of this whole situation for the 3 months we've been listening to this. Did anybody feel like, that 5150 is basically, it's not comedy, it's just kind of it was prior to this a back door. I'm gonna talk shit and try to roast because I gotta axe the grind. Like when was the last time we saw true Corey Holcomb comedy on 5150?
Well, no, I think it's comedy.
Never.
Well,
5150.
no,
5150.
no.
5150 is the show personification of Red Pill Rage.
Okay.
That's what it is. The whole show is just Red Pill Rage, and that's the reason why he got so many supporters.
That makes sense.
Because they want to see him get up there and go in on women. You know, the side effect, the side conversation is him going in on comedians that he feel was able to benefit from being comedians more than he did. But most of it is him going in on chicks, which is the main reason most of them don't have a problem with him going in on Anton's daughter.
Mm.
So I do think his show is comedy. And just because I'm not a fan of the comedy, I'm not going to say that it's not comedy, right?
It used to be.
Huh?
It used to be.
Yeah, so even I really,
Yeah,
you know what I really
nothing more,
think?
he's nothing more than a podcaster that's happen to be a comedian.
No. What
What's
I'm
up?
saying is because I truly believe this. I believe that Corey started going on the roads because I didn't talk to people who've seen him in person, and
I've seen him, yeah.
he's talking about this stuff on his show. So I think he needed more content for his live shows, and I really think he's using it as a leverage or something to talk about.
Well, see, that's the thing, Eater Man. Like I've seen Corey 20 times at least. He ain't funny. He used to be, but I know the last 6 or 7 times I've seen him, Corey ain't been funny. Like,
yeah,
give me
but
some
that's your
jokes.
opinion, though. The reason I say that's your opinion.
No, I mean like literally nobody I'll be in the front row. Nobody in the spot was laughing. Like the last time that I saw him, I think it was like 24. It was to the point he wasn't funny till he canceled the last 3 shows of his engagement.
Well, we know why he canceled. He canceled because he was stressed out. He couldn't sleep on the plane.
No, it's because look, here's the thing, man. This is the reality about Corey, right? And like I said, I'm not taking nothing from him. When he's on his game, he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
When he's on his game, he's funny as hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 5150 used to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, as Corey's gotten older, which tends to happen with men when they don't accomplish whatever they set out to accomplish, they get bitter.
I can see that.
He's gotten bitter.
I can see that.
He's gotten bitter, and because he's a comedian, comedians draw from their life to tell jokes. They draw from their life. They draw from real life situations. So you're hearing his bitterness in his comedy, and he don't know how to balance that shit out. And that's the reason why it's coming off the way it's coming off. And his fans don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's some of them in the chat room right now. His fans don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Until Corey finally gets off of this shit and recalibrates, it's just going to keep getting worse.
Yeah, Brittany B said, I seen him in Nashville in February, and he brought up Anton. I would love to know what was the room's response to that. And the thing is, when Corey was live, the day that him and Anton got into it, I think it was like 20,000 or 15,000 people in the chat.
Yep.
When Corey went live that following week, it was more people in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Like 45.
Yeah. As the weeks went on, those numbers got progressively lower and lower and lower. As a matter of fact, people was even saying that because he wasn't addressing Anton, he wasn't really talking about it. You said nobody knew what he was talking about. Crazy
He
work.
flopped.
Wow.
He flopped. And see, Will, that's the thing. He flopped. He got on that show and he said, show the video. And even his people wouldn't show the video. Like, it was a flop. His response was a flop.
It's bad production, bad planning, bad execution. Like, they didn't have any clips together. Like, it's like he just get on there and talk. You know, have nothing to, whatever's coming.
He's a YouTuber. He just famous.
No, he's not a YouTuber.
He ain't no YouTuber.
He's not a YouTuber.
When he does 5150, he's a YouTuber.
No,
He's famous. He's
Trey,
still a comedian.
that's crazy, Trey.
He's in the
That's
movie, but
different.
Well,
He
Trey,
do what he
the reason,
do.
hold on, the reason that's a bad take is because he done been in the industry for 20 years. Like he
Yeah.
should
Oh,
know. Listen, being in as a comedian for that long, he should understand production. That's a bad take, Trey.
He's not. He look. Here's the thing, right? I get what you're
I
saying. He comes
understand
on.
it and,
He
and
comes on.
putting it
No,
into. Go ahead.
no. Look. Here's the reality, right? You can't say he's a YouTuber, and the reason why is because if you go look at his show, Corey doesn't even understand how to really
Run
milk
YouTube.
YouTube for what it's worth, right? He just now turned on his memberships, right? Corey Holcomb, with the size of his audience since he's been on YouTube, he could have made a fortune off of YouTube, but he didn't. He was just using YouTube as a way to him to, vent, run his mouth, talk about shit he believe in and stuff like that. He wasn't using it the way most people utilize YouTube, right? Because he's a comedian. You feel what I'm saying? And he said numerous times, like, yo, I'm good. I don't have to do this and da-da-da-da. He said that numerous times, right? So he's technically not a YouTuber. Because I can tell you right now, doing YouTube once a week and every time you talk, you're saying things that's getting you age restricted. So you're not making the money
You're
you
not
would
making
make
money.
off of AdSense. You're only making the super chat money, right? He could have been selling t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? I know he got his 5150 t-shirts and shit, but he could have been capitalizing off of YouTube, but he hasn't. He's a comedian that's on YouTube.
You got me for using words earlier, so I'll correct myself and say he's a bad YouTuber. How about that?
Yeah, I'll agree to that. I'll agree to that because he could be making, fam could be making bank, fam. You got 15,000 in the box every
He could
time.
have been doing online comedy shows, members only.
Yeah, he could have been
Even if you
doing
was-
that. Yeah.
Even if you was just getting $1 per person, if you got 15,000 people in the chat every time you go live, which is only once a week, that's 15 grand. Just $1?
Yeah, but
That just
but
changed your life.
But here's the thing, right?
Mhm.
So when you look at him coming on to YouTube and shit, right?
Mhm.
He's treating it like it's the industry. See, a comedian, when they go do a show, they can stand up there and say whatever they want. It's no holds barred, right? So when he gets on YouTube, he does the same thing. And that's what gets him into trouble. And he's too stubborn to change that. Like you gotta kind of adjust the way you talking on YouTube. He doesn't understand how the internet works.
Well, and
You
that's
gotta
the
go
thing.
to a different platform one if you want to do it like that.
Well,
Yeah.
no matter where you go, right? We still have to understand when we talk about the legal precedents because of Section 240, and a lot of y'all may not know what Section 240 is. It's pretty much protection on the internet, but because of how things work within law, I don't care if he was on Rumble, if he was on Twitter, if he was on Instagram, TikTok, none of that. Anywhere that he posts that picture of Leslie, because she was 17 years old, which she's considered a minor in the state of California. Anywhere he posts that picture and he's saying or making the statements that he was making, he's still going against the law. It still can be argued that it's defamation. It can be argued that his depiction or portrayal of Leslie and of Rita on those shirts, it still can be argued that inflicted damage, right? Someone said in the chat earlier, I believe it was Brittany B that said in the chat earlier, if you were getting, someone has an echo, if you were getting joked on by Dave Chappelle during the time when the Chappelle show was hot, and you were a target of Dave Chappelle jokes, if you went to school, you're about to be the laughing stock. You see what I'm saying? If you worked in the business, you're about to be the laughing stock. This is why a lot of people don't really go after people directly, because maybe they understand that I'm making this person a target. I could affect them. I could stop the money. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to Anton, this is why I don't think Anton is a part of the lawsuit, because this is not affecting him. Anton is he's still making his money. He's still doing his business. Now, how this affects Leslie as a 17-year-old girl who just now turned 18, as it affects her as she is internationally known because of what she does in Taekwondo and all that and the other, she's still a private citizen. She's not a public figure where people can just utilize her likeness however that they want. This is why I say that it was wrong for what Corey did. Now, according to what E Black was saying last night, because I see E Black in the chat, because it was a war of words, I could see if he put Anton's picture up there and he was talking shit about Anton, but that's not what he did. He attacked her. And for all the people in the chat, if y'all want to join the stream, y'all know y'all can just click the link at the top. But I want to make sure that we go over this and cover this because you have a lot of people who's. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just real quick. I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
You said you saw E Black in the chat. Do you have dark mode on? If you had that,
I do indeed have dark mode on. I do indeed.
So how did you see him in the chat?
Because I got his name is it got a blue. He got a blue on his name.
Okay,
so
my bad. I was just wondering. I'm trying to figure that out, bro.
That was a good one. That was
nah. You know what? I want to use that as an example. Could E Black potentially try to sue Angry Man for that statement? He could sue for whatever he wants
mental
to.
Duress. He gonna be
for mental duress.
How's he gonna sue me for me making a factual statement?
Because he's actually is dark.
He's black as hell. How am I make like you can't do that, right? And I told you, E Black, it's forever smoke because of that leprechaun joke, bro. Forever.
Now see, an Angry Man can sue E Black for the leprechaun joke because now he has to prove that Angry Man is a leprechaun. But Jeremy says defamation or slander is the hardest thing to prove in court. He ain't keeping them from making money. They got upset and went the legal route. It will cost them money and nothing will come from it. Jeremy, you're more than welcome to click the link. But my question to you is that if it's about them making money or having good public stance, do you not think that Corey's depiction of them or portrayal of them or the words that he used about the 17-year-old girl Leslie, do you not think that it will have some type of effect? You're more than welcome to join the show. Also, I see Messi Michelle in the chat. What's going on, Messi?
That would be killing me with just making money. Like,
I'll tell you what. If Leslie was Hunter, this wouldn't even be an argument.
Mm-hmm.
This wouldn't even be an argument. These cats in the chat, they would look. If somebody took a white content creator's white daughter that's a minor and put them all over the screen,
don't play that game.
They gonna get sued. They gonna get sued and they gonna win.
Thanks. But you know, the biggest thing is like I don't like how he framed it. Jeremy said he ain't keeping them from making money. They got upset and went the legal route. So this is where I come with the whole victim shaming part. Are victims not allowed to defend themselves?
They are, but that's why he mad, because they get making money.
Let me ask the question right quick.
not in the community.
And this is about to get, let me just go ahead and say this disclaimer right quick. What I'm about to ask is about to get hairy. Even if you want to join the show, please leave your emotions at the door. But if you bring your emotions up here, I'm not here to. The precedence that y'all are setting right now is that victims cannot defend themselves. My question is Leslie and Sharita technically a victim of Corey Holcomb in his statements? That's my question to y'all.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right?
In this watered down ass age we in, yes.
What you mean watered down?
Wow.
Because like playing the dozens we've been bringing motherfuckers, family members into arguments in city school, talking about their sister, their mama, their auntie, their cousin. There's nothing new.
Okay, but when you playing the dozens, both parties agree to that. All parties involved agree to that. They ain't agree to any of this.
In a perfect world, yes, but we are in a real world where people are just mean and just fuck with you for no reason.
Okay, well, you should have started with that part instead of playing the dozens, because there wasn't nobody there before.
But the difference is, you know, like you want to Jones somebody, it's like 10 people max. Corey Holcomb did what he did in front of how many viewers? 15,000 viewers
At
Yeah.
least.
at least.
With a replay
Then
value of about 250,000 views or
Top of that.
350,000 views. Yeah.
that's different. At
Yeah,
least
that's what I
the
said.
10
In this
people.
climate we're in, it's like that. It's different. We watered it down, but we grew up with the same shit, like roasted in front of the whole goddamn cafeteria.
Okay, that's still what 200 people max.
Uh-oh.
That's
All right.
200.
The internet is new, as
It
Angry
is,
Man
so we gotta
said
worry
earlier.
about what's
It's
going
the
on
new
now.
Wild
We can't
Wild
work
West.
back then. When
So
people
back
said
in
that,
the
I mean, I
day,
get you.
So if that's the case, right? You're saying that Corey was basically doing what we do when we play the dozens, and it's all fair game, right, Trey?
I said what he did to me was despicable, but we have witnessed it before when we've been out playing the dozens and checking and roasting and kicking shit. We've done
Okay,
it
so
before.
as a comedian, if he's roasting somebody, then he should expect to be roasted back, and it's fair game, right?
Yes.
Then why is he on his channel every week crying about his reputation? Why is he on his
Playing the
channel
sympathy
every week?
card.
Why is he on his channel every week crying about YouTube content creators talking about him?
Why is he striking people?
This watered down age that we in. Everybody wants to do what they want to do and then play victim when it happens back to them.
But how we holler watered down and he older? Well, I know he older than me, but like,
Well, I don't disagree with what Trey is saying. What Trey is saying is that people shouldn't be so fickle. But here's my counter to that, Trey. And E Black, I see you came up here. Welcome to the show. Here's my counter to that. Do you know someone by the name of Tommy Sotomayor?
I do. OG.
Do you know the things that Tommy was saying about black women?
Yes.
What was the response that Tommy got from the black community from the things that he was saying about black women?
It was torn.
What was the result of what happened to Tommy because of his opinions
He
about
ended
the
up
black
having to leave YouTube and go to Kick, Rumble, OnlyFans, and everywhere else.
Same thing
Started
happened to
like
Mumi.
pages.
Same thing happened to Mumi Obsidian Ali, right? Well, sort of. He
yeah,
kind of
he had beef with one person. Yeah, pretty
well,
much.
he kind of
Like
took it to a
50.
different level. The reason I'm bringing this up is because if I'm going by what you're saying on the avenue of what you're saying, Trey, everything that any man has ever said by any woman on the internet, there shouldn't be no kickback from it. But what have we seen happen from all of the things that has been happening, I say over the past 15 or so years? How there has been resulting actions to a lot of men who have seen consequences from what it is that they say on the internet. And most women haven't seen that. So I agree with your statement that a lot of people are fickle, but there's consequences to your speech. You have the freedom to be able to speak. That does not mean that you are free from the consequences of your speech. Would you agree to that?
Yeah. Yeah, we said that earlier, that you got the choice to do what you want to do, but you have to face the consequences, whatever that may be, that comes with it. Whether it's you get canceled, you get sued, somebody hit you in the mouth, whatever it is.
And see, this is why I say that, right? Because Kimberly says people so sensitive. Drewski and Corey are funny. I don't care what Anton hypocritical ass does because he did this to himself. Again, this is not
I
affecting
agree we're
Anton.
sensitive.
This ain't Anton.
Yeah,
we are definitely sensitive. I agree with that statement. That's what I was saying initially. Like in this time we're in, everybody is sensitive about everything.
I know damn well she didn't jump up there talking about Drewski and Corey is funny. The way you niggas was crying over Obama being portrayed as
in the Lion King video.
Absolutely. All right, E Black, you up here? How you doing? What's going on?
What's
what
good?
You got?
What is good, everybody?
Did you come to argue? Or did you come to converse? Because this is Weekend at Willie's. So if you want to argue, you're more than welcome to do it.
No, we just came to converse, you know.
Okay. Now, if you end up in this layout, like I said before, you end up in this layout, I'm not here to protect you. I go quiet, and however it is that y'all handle it, okay?
Okay, good.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Thank you for letting me know the rules. But yeah, I think even after last night, like I said, I'm more resolute in my position in regards to this. This is what they call lawyer slop. This is courtroom slop. This is not going anywhere. It's a waste of money on Anton's side,
You
and
hope.
it's going to end up in just like every other case that has been like this, in the trash. No judge. There's reasons why we have words like anti-slap and a whole bunch of other terminologies for and a lot of other burdens of proof. So good luck, but it ain't really gonna be worth it. Ain't worth it to me.
You hope.
I hope what?
You hope it goes nowhere.
I do. I
Yeah,
do.
you-
I do. I hope this case goes nowhere. I hope this case gets slapped down just like every other case.
So you don't want
Right.
you don't want Sharita and Leslie to get justice for the statements that was made about them?
Justice?
Yeah.
What justice means that there is a fair and equal punishment. I don't
An injustice,
I don't believe there's going to be a fair and equal punishment for this.
but an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere, correct?
No.
Millions of dollars is justice.
Wait, stop. Say that again. You said no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Millions of dollars been justice for a long time. That's why these broads keep using it.
So a woman walking away from a divorce with half a man's shit, is that justice?
I don't think that's justice.
The law says justice.
Okay.
It's definitely not justice.
Yeah, that's
Which is
a,
why-
that's
Which
the
is
funny
why I
thing.
don't agree with the statement.
The funny thing to me is Black get up here with his sense of morality, his misplaced sense of morality, and you think just because you think that's the way it's gonna go in court.
Yeah. How has it gone previously?
So you're telling me nobody's ever won a defamation case similar to this?
Not like this, no.
Okay.
You'd be hard pressed to find one.
Okay.
Because even like I know people talk about Tasha K, but there's stipulations in which, like I said, the burden of proof of defamation have to be hopped over, and she proved it.
Okay.
She
I
proved it.
want to.
She proved that she put a statement out that was false, and continued to do so that was false, and presented it to an audience that was false.
Okay. So everybody up here. We all can chew the fat, and we can mull over this over and over. But we all know right. We all know right from wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We all know right from wrong. And I'm gonna say this: every last one of you that are taking the position that you're taking, Black, whether you like it or not, you are in defense of Corey Holcomb, right?
I would definitely be in defense of that.
Where's your
So-
5150 hat at?
So,
Oh, it's right here. Hold on.
Go ahead and
So-
put it on. Go ahead and put it on.
so here's the thing: he actually has a 5150 hat. Wow, that's crazy. So you might want to flip your camera around, weirdo. Look. So here's the thing, right? Every last one of y'all that are in defense of Corey Holcomb, right?
Are we in
Corey
defense
Holcomb-
legally, or are we in
You gotta let
defense?
him finish. You gotta let him
Corey
finish.
Holcomb we not gonna play that. Okay,
Okay.
we not gonna see. Here's the thing: y'all got to decide what y'all want to be. You either Black or you white. And the reason why I say that is because white people love to play that technicality shit. Black people, we don't play that technicality shit. It's either right or it's wrong. Period. Right? We know that's wrong. We know what he did to that man's daughter is wrong.
Yeah.
So every last one of you that are defending Corey Holcomb, y'all a bunch of weirdos.
Or we just love the American justice system. That's just be honest.
That's a
about it.
You
bit
said what?
harsh.
We just love it. We just believe in American justice system.
No, you
and
don't. No, you
and
don't.
freedom of speech.
No, you don't. If you believe
If a white man
you
said
believe in
the N-word, I do not believe that he should be sued for it. I don't
Okay,
care how
so then-
wrong I believe it is. I don't care how immoral I believe it is. It means that I believe in the American justice system enough to say
Okay,
freedom
cool.
of speech.
Okay, cool. So you believe in the American justice system. You just said that, right?
I more or less believe in the Constitution.
Okay, cool. So then that means that you also agree with slavery.
No, I don't.
Why not? That was part of the American justice system.
Yeah, up to a certain point, and then it got ruled out. So I don't believe
Okay,
in that.
but it was legal.
You didn't ask me if I believed in every American
Nah,
justice.
no. That's not what you said. What
Well,
you said,
that's your
what
fault for
you,
phrasing the
what,
question.
what you said is you believe, what you said is you believe in the American justice system.
You should
So
then
if you
phrase the
believe,
question more directly.
so if you believe in the American justice system, you also said you believe in the Constitution. And at one point, the Constitution declared us as 3/5 of a human being.
I believe pizzas are healthy, but I don't believe you should eat pizzas every day too.
That's not what we're talking about. And
But I'm
that's
just
a
saying
false,
you're asking
that's
me a
a,
generalized question. You're asking me once again a generalized question in regards to the American justice system and its history in regards to
no,
slavery.
I didn't.
Where I'm telling you that I believe in the American Constitution once it does benefit for me and the things that I enjoy. So
No, I
you're-
didn't ask you. I didn't ask you anything. You made a statement. I repeated your statement in question form, right? You made a statement. You said you believed in the American justice system.
Yes.
So in order for you to believe in the American justice system, that means you believe in every wrongful prosecution that has taken place as it pertains to Black people.
No, I don't.
So then how are you going to sit there and say you believe in the American justice system?
Because I believe, like, once again, when it benefits me.
That's the same thing that white people used to do. They believe in the American justice system.
But that's not the question you asked.
Because it benefited them. That's the entire reason. That's the entire reason that people complain about white privilege and those things.
Once again, I believe that the First Amendment should be held to a strict upper standard. And it's the reason why it's the First Amendment, because we do not want to have our speech to be bastardized by lawyers and rich people. We want a lot of things, freedom of speech. So
Okay.
I don't understand why this is such a hard subject for you, especially you, Angry Man.
It's not a hard subject for me. You're the one that's making certain statements without context. You said you believe in the American justice system, and based on the way you said it from the position that you believe in it so long as it benefits you.
Yes.
Excuse me for 1 second. Almond, please pin the StreamYard link to the top of your chat, please. Thank you. Go ahead, y'all.
You don't see a problem with that? See, here's the thing. There's a reason why Lady Justice is portrayed as a blind woman, right? You're supposed to believe in the American justice system, whether it benefits you or not.
Yeah, well, that is true. That is true. I do believe in both.
Okay, so then you see why I have a problem with what you just said.
Yeah.
Then that's not believing in it.
No, does what
No,
it means.
Wait, hold on. You don't believe in the justice system. You only believe in it when it's a benefit for you. That's the part that you can't leave out. If it's not a benefit for you, is it still justice? If you lose a case, is justice still being served?
Yes.
Okay, so then it can't be.
In fact, I've lost a court case, and I've realized why I've lost the court case, and I realized why I lost it, and I'm fine with it.
So you trust in the legal process.
So what you're telling
yes.
me?
Thank you.
So what you're telling me is this, right? So what you're telling me is this: if this case does go, if it does pass the anti-slap situation, right, and Anton's family does win this case, you're gonna be cool with it.
I'd have to be cool with it. I have no choice. But I would think that based on other cases that are just like this, in fact, very much mirroring just like this, I would say it's not.
Okay.
In fact, I would say 95% chance that this case doesn't go beyond.
Okay, well, you've established that already. That's not what I'm asking you, because I'm looking at the hill that you want to die on. And
can you describe my hill?
The hill you want to die on is that this case is a frivolous case and it's not going to go anywhere.
Yes.
Okay. So since you want to die on that hill, what I'm asking you is if, because I don't know either, if they actually prevail and win this case, are you telling me E Black, the content creator, is not going to do content complaining about them winning that case?
I would definitely. I would feel that it'd be a travesty of justice.
You just
I would-
said.
But you just said. I'm
But
sorry,
I
I'm a
would-
host. I'm a
but
host.
the-
Being okay with it doesn't mean he ain't gonna speak about it.
See, y'all see this dubious shit?
I'm
I
just a
can
host.
accept something and disagree with it.
This is dubious shit. You cannot make a statement like he made a second ago and then he's talking out of both sides of his neck.
He said he would be okay with the judgment, but he would also do content saying he disagreed. You can do both. He can't do nothing to change he can't do anything to change the verdict.
Yeah,
He can
exactly.
disagree and move on with his life. Give the reason why he disagreed and moved on with his life.
Exactly.
Still
But
be
here's,
okay with the
here's the
justice
thing.
system.
But here's the thing. There are people out here in this world that actually do believe in the justice system and the process. So, if in fact, whether that case goes in either direction, the person that truly believes in the system, if they win, they're going to say justice was served. If they don't win, they're going to say justice was served. And they're not going to have an issue with it either way.
No, that's not true. That's a very small opinion. You can believe somebody was the justice system wasn't served, and you can also accept the fact that of the verdict.
Fair, but that's not what you said.
No, that's exactly what I said. I said
that isn't what you said. Initially, you
know
said.
Let me reiterate then. Let me reiterate.
Initially,
I believe in the First Amendment right, and I believe in the way that the system was built up and has been tried and true, built up in the way that it's currently at, where these type of situations, in particular into defamation and in particular to slander, I believe that this case will get thrown out. So let's just forget all the other stuff. Forget all my opinions about the justice system, whether I believe in slavery, whether I believe slavery post Civil War or pre-Civil War. Forget all that stuff. I believe this case is most likely going to get thrown out. And if it doesn't get thrown out, it's a travesty to justice and it sets a bad precedent.
Thank God. Thank God you're not a legal scholar.
Yeah, thank God.
I wouldn't think it's a travesty of justice if it actually got into a courtroom and a jury had to decide. I don't think that's a tragedy of justice. That's letting the legal process play out.
But he does. And the reason why I'm pointing this out is because he is no different. He is no different than the racist white people that thought justice was served when they ruled against Dred Scott, because that was in favor of what they wanted. It wasn't justice, but it was in favor of what those people at that time wanted. That's the point that I'm trying to make to him. Like, justice cannot be based off of your preference.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that it's kind of the way I feel right now in regards to this case.
Well, I want to ask you a couple questions, Black.
Yeah.
So you believe, based on the First Amendment right, American citizens should be able to say whatever they want to say?
Yes.
Regardless.
Yes.
So it is no line, correct?
I think you should be able to say whatever you want to say, but I don't think you should be like, I do believe that there are certain rules of like, you can't, I don't think you could be like in a movie theater yelling fire and it caused deaths of people and you not be punished for it.
All right. So when it comes down to threatening, should I be able to threaten anybody?
That's an interesting question. Should I be able to threaten anybody?
This is the hill that you've been living on that we've been trying to get you off of.
Yeah, I do believe that there's a certain level of that. Yeah.
So you should be able to, hold on, wait. Let me ask. So you should be able to threaten people and there be no consequence.
I believe if I said, hey, Sel, if you walk into my house, I will kill you. If you try
that's
to
not a threat. That's a defense. That's a statement. Of
that
defense.
is a very good threat.
No, that's not a threat. That's a statement of defense. That's not a threat.
I say
that's
you
not a
step
threat.
into my yard.
No, listen. That's not a threat. That is a statement of defense. If I say to you, E Black,
you're reusing my words, but
I'm not using your words. I'm clarifying. If I say to you, E Black, if you bring your black ass to my house, I'ma shoot you. That's a statement of defense. If I say to you, E Black, I'm about to walk over there and blow your shit out. That's a threat.
Okay,
Pause.
that's your opinion.
Pause.
Wow,
That's-
that was crazy.
Oh, if I say blow your, if I say okay,
Moment
I'm
of
a,
silence.
if I say if I'm walking up and I'm saying I'm gonna elbow you in the head, then that's different. Blackish Cracker, you got to be on camera, big homie. That's the way I roll my I run my show.
No, I want to go down this line of questioning. So, E Black,
Mhm.
you believe that I should be able to say whatever I want, regardless of the cause of harm to the person that I'm saying.
I don't think it's an absolute, but I believe that in general.
So, in general, okay. So, when is it not right?
Hey, to hell, hold on. To hell with all of y'all saying some damn pause. I'm from Detroit, all right? If I say, bro, like, keep talking that shit, I'm gonna blow your shit out. That's don't front
no
on me,
Eddie,
right?
boy.
No.
No Eddie.
Hey,
No Eddie,
Yo.
bro.
Listen,
That's on Eddie's Eddie
listen.
long side of the
He
game,
doubled
bro.
down on it. That's the crazy.
What a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside.
Keep playing.
And the
Keep
video
playing.
made it worse. The
I know
video
it's made it worse. I don't care. It's Weekend at Willie's. We're here to have fun. So
Go ahead.
Blackish Cracker, if you don't want to be on camera, then you got to hit the cash app, big homie. The rule is you have to be on camera. I would prefer you be on camera. It makes for a better show. But no, so I need you to understand, E Black. If I say that I'm going to cut you with this knife, then that's a threat. If I say to you, if you come in my house uninvited, something gonna happen to you. That's not a threat. That's a statement of defense. You know what castle law is, right?
yeah, I understand what you're saying, but you're just twisting the words and making your own definition.
Words matter.
They're both threats.
Words matter. In
They're
the
both-
context of words matter.
Whether it be a defensive threat or offensive threat, it's still a threat.
The context of words matter. If I sit on my show and I say E Black has a particular STD, the same way Tasha K did, that's problematic. If I say he allegedly has an STD, that's a whole different story.
Yes.
Well, no. I'm trying to understand where E Black stand at. So, right. So, say for example, you're trying to get say you're trying to become a porn star, right? E Black.
Corn,
You said you want
corn.
the porn star. Okay, corn star.
How'd you know?
And I start spreading rumors that you have AIDS, right?
Yes.
My question to you, and you lose jobs, right?
Yes.
Should you be able to sue me because I affected you financially?
Yes, I believe that.
Okay, so that means we can't just say anything without being sued.
I didn't say
correct?
anything. I said in general, yeah.
No, I'm trying to understand.
In the spirit of the law, yes, I do believe most things should be passed, but I think there's obviously special cases. That's not like obtuse about this. I'm not an extremist to say you should be able to say anything. You should be able to threaten the president's life. I don't believe you should be able to threaten political lives. I believe that there are certain things that, of course, in certain settings, especially in obscenity laws, sometimes I believe in that and sometimes I don't. But let's be honest, in general, I believe most American citizens under the First Amendment have the right to say what they want to say.
The whole premise of freedom of speech is to stop a tyrannical government from policing what you're saying, because you might be really, if you want to be truthfully honest, if we're being truthfully honest, freedom of speech really, in my opinion, is to protect whistleblowers. In my opinion.
Yeah,
but what I notice is people are trying their best to use freedom of speech to do things that are not conducive to a society.
Yeah, and it's dangerous what E Black is saying. Because say, for example, if somebody can accuse you of something, quote unquote, and then they can depend on freedom of speech, that is dangerous. I say for example, somebody say E Black did this, that to me, and then they find out that person is lying. Do you believe that they just should be able to say, you know what, I was just using freedom of speech, E Black?
Well, no, that's where the slander and defamation comes in there.
Oh, so
slander.
okay. That's what I want. So if Anton's daughter can prove that what he said was a blatant lie, isn't that grounds for a lawsuit?
No.
See, you see how you answer?
Calling somebody, looking at somebody and calling them sassy ain't the same as running around just automatically saying you sleep with such and such X, Y, and Z. You could like
No, see, but what I'm
But
trying to tell y'all is,
man,
oh,
my
go ahead.
my principles on this subject is not about opinion. This is about course precedence and what I've read and what I've seen in history. This is not the first time two podcasts have gone against each other and made lies about each other. And guess what happened? Every single time, the First Amendment has been upheld.
That's
But
not.
she's not a
But and
podcaster. I think the problem that you keep saying, the person that he attacked is not a podcaster.
exactly.
Isn't she
And
an
this is
athlete
just. This is
though?
just.
A
This is
world
this.
renowned athlete?
Hold on.
Why
Wait,
does
wait.
it matter?
Let
Because
me. Let me.
it
Let
changes
me
your argument.
hold on for a second. Let me be the host. Let me be the host. You have to understand, and I pulled this up for a very specific reason. On this lawsuit, it says Leslie Daniels, Sharita Daniels versus Corey Lamont Holcomb, 5150 Show, Does 1 through 25. Anton Daniels is not listed as a plaintiff in this case. So you can't use the argument that this is between two podcasters because neither Sharita nor Leslie are podcasters.
And it fits your narrative.
No, it's not that it fits my.
It doesn't fit case law. It doesn't fit
E Black. You have to remember.
historically.
E Black. You remember. I'm just a host. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm just setting the facts. So you can argue with anyone.
That's not a
just-
fact.
Hold on,
opinion.
hold on. It's not a fact that he's not listed in the documents?
It's
So
not a
how
fact
did-
that
so how-
it's
so if
not a
that's the
fact
case-
that Anton has nothing to do with this.
If
That's
the
not what he
case-
said.
If that's the case, E Black, then how did Johnny Depp win his lawsuit against Amber Heard?
Because of multiple false statements that was made under I think it was multiple false statements knowingly they were untrue, and then after the fact I think still kind of pressing along with said
Those
statements
tapes
and
in this
lying
case,
under
too.
oath and a whole bunch of other stuff. Like that was a very different style of case.
No one.
Them
It's
tapes
what?
help.
Huh?
But if Antoine, somebody said she's an international fighter or something like that. Did somebody say that earlier?
She does taekwondo. I believe that was a typo on the document because for line 5 it says intentional, and then if you go down a little bit it says international. So I think that was a typo. It happens all the time on documents.
She's a junior
Pretty much a
Olympics
public figure for being in tournaments and winning and things of that nature.
I don't think that's what's being argued. I think what's being argued is whether or not if this lawsuit is against Anton or if I see you back there, Blackish, and I see you back there, word up. All right. So the thing is, I'm going to reiterate this. What E Black is arguing is that this is between two podcasters, or rather, E Black. Let me ask you to clarify your argument. What is your argument?
My argument is that the resulting fact of two podcasters having a war of words is the result of is what this defamation is about. It has it's not like Corey just walked out his house one day and decided, "Hey, I'm going to pick on these two individuals."
It's just the reason.
In fact,
that's exactly how it happened, though.
In fact, no, it's not exactly how it happened. And if you remember exactly how it happened, it started off as, in fact, go to the document and they will tell you how it happened. No, if this was just about Corey making, hold on, stop. If this was just about Corey making a statement, then there would be no need to add Anton Daniels' initial podcast appearance on the document. Why not just say, "Hey, a guy"? Why not just say?
Because you can't do that.
Why you can't?
E Black.
You have to set the whole thing up. Like you have
to. E Black, if you were in front of me, E Black.
But still, they wasn't talking about Leslie or Rita when Anton was there in his face.
E Black, if you're standing in front of me,
yes.
If you and two of your homeboys confront me, right? And you say, "I got something for you," and you whip out a knife. I can't pull out my gun and shoot your homeboy. Even though your homeboy is with you, I cannot claim self-defense for shooting your homeboy when you the one that pulled out the damn knife.
Well,
That's great
for criminal case law.
So
but we're
you
talking about
sit here,
E Black, you gotta let him finish.
So you sitting here saying, "Oh, Corey didn't just get up one day and decide he was going to attack Leslie and Rita." That's exactly what he did, because that was between him and Anton. So when you keep saying it was a war of words between two content creators, the moment it stopped being a war of words between two content creators is when Corey Holcomb decided to skip past Anton and talk about his wife and his child that had nothing to do with the conversation.
Exactly.
Once again, that is based on your opinion. Like case law and case precedents and how this is always done. Because has this been the first time two podcasters have had a situation and they've
not two podcasters?
Hold on, listen. Have two podcasters had situations where they've talked about each other's family? Is that the only time? Is this the only time we've talked about this?
You keep pushing this non sequitur. We're not talking about two podcasters.
No,
it's not two podcasters.
It started off as two podcasters, and as collateral damage, the family got brought into it.
It's not two podcasters on that. You keep saying case law. So if you understand case law, hold on for a second. If you understand case law, you understand the importance of paperwork.
Yes.
Here's Anton's name on that paperwork.
Yes.
Where?
It's there.
It's describing his appearance on the podcast.
Go down.
Who are the plaintiffs? Who are the plaintiffs?
Go down.
No, the plaintiffs are right there. Who are the plaintiffs?
He's telling y'all Antoine Daniels being on the show is mentioned in the lawsuit. Him being on
but that's not. But that's still not. That don't make him a plaintiff.
Well, first of
that's
all,
for context though, because it started off as two podcasts.
Well, first of all,
you guys don't have critical thinking skills.
Well, first of all, even if that name is in the paperwork, that would be a mistake as well, because Antoine Daniels does not have a podcast, as far as I know.
I don't know who Antoine Daniels is. I know who Anton is. I don't know who Antoine is. Shout out to House of Hypocrites in the building. What's going on? He said his name is on it, but he's not a plaintiff.
And that's the point. Look, here y'all go. Look. Let's not start this pedantic. Let's not start this pedantic shit. When I said, is his name on that paperwork? You know what I mean. Is he a plaintiff? Yes or no?
Are you saying that he's a party to the case? No, he's not.
Okay. So and you know as well as I, look, here's the thing.
What does that mean?
Here's the thing. E Black. Here's the thing, bro. I realized I saw your little post about your job and shit, right? That you had, right? You're not the only one that's familiar with case law. You're not the only one that's familiar with the legal process. Okay. The fact that his name is not listed as a plaintiff, you cannot keep presenting your argument as two podcasters going at each other, because that's not what the case is about.
And why did they file it as such? They filed it definitely as such. They said that Anton on a certain day in January went on a podcast. Then the following week, Corey Holcomb did a podcast. They're basically alluding and providing context to the whole environment.
Providing context doesn't make you a plaintiff.
You guys are stuck.
He's not saying it makes you a plaintiff. He's just saying the fact that they put it in there lets you know it started off as two podcasters. Now it escalated into Anton's family being involved, but the initial beef started between them on a podcast.
Okay, right there, Trey. Who escalated it?
Inside
Who escalated it?
But the problem with what we're in the context of what's going on right now. Every single time that E Black presents his argument, he's talking as if this is between two podcasters, even though originally it was between Corey and Anton. That is not what the case is about. The case is about them being included in the shit that they were not a part of.
Mm-hmm.
That matters.
You
It
guys,
was a squabble
are just
between
making
two.
a great opinion. This is just
May
a
I?
great
May I
opinion.
please? I've
Yeah.
been very white, patiently waiting. Yes. Give me a second. I'm very patiently waiting.
Go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, I'm on this cast right now. Give me a second, baby. I feel like everyone is missing the whole point of this, and it's a constitutional question. They're trying to say someone can't say something because someone else got offended. I mean, I could only imagine how it would be in the 80s when all these rap groups were getting sued, having some of y'all on the jury.
Wow.
I could only imagine. We wouldn't have half the music that we have
And
because
it would
someone
be a
else got
benefit
offended.
to us. And that would have been a benefit to us. That would have been a benefit to us. We should have locked all them niggas up, and the damn community probably wouldn't be
What?
the
Listen,
Yeah,
angry
right
man,
now.
bro. Listen, don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution, bro.
No, I am part of the
So,
solution.
Blackish Cracker,
because
I am part of the solution.
I'm just saying.
You're
Me and
equating
Angry
Corey
go back.
Holcomb.
Me and Angry go back. I know
these
Angry.
light
Angry knows
skinned
me
brothers
probably.
go
Yo,
But that's all I'm
you're
saying.
Blackish Cracker. You're equating Corey Holcomb to NWA.
I'm saying the same
Are we-
principle of that question is if someone can say something to offend someone else, who's
So
right?
revolution.
Who
So
has the right?
I'm
Do
asking.
you have
I'm
a
asking
right to offend, or
let
do
me
you have
ask
a
you-
right to be offended?
protest music against black people getting their ass whooped by the police is
Which
the
the
same
police try to
as,
shut
as
down.
hold on is in the of the same vein as two women who had absolutely nothing to do with the squabble between two men.
Yep.
Explain it to me.
That's crazy.
It's not.
Yeah.
Because
That's crazy.
the
Well, you can
police,
put me down. Let AM have
because
it.
the police that sued
That's
NWA had nothing to do with the NWA song, right?
Okay,
But they still
that's
decided
crazy.
to sue because they heard something that they decided to listen to that they didn't like. That is
Okay.
the whole point of all of this.
Okay.
And so everyone is missing. Who cares about the unconstitutional law on the books? I
Okay,
don't
but
care
here-
about it.
Okay, but here's the thing. You just brought up the police, right? You're talking about an institution trying to sue American citizens for saying something that is protected under freedom of speech, right? That's a totally different thing than a private individual making statements about a minor and displaying her photo on his screen. That's different, bro.
No, it's not. It's all freedom of speech, dude. It's all
No,
First Amendment. It's a First Amendment question. It's a First Amendment question, dude. Because if
No,
you
it's
want to
not.
be on the side that, hold on, if you want to be on this side, which I'm going to describe right now, if you want to be on the side where people get offended and you can shut someone's free speech down because they got offended, what are we going to be talking about tomorrow that's not approved by all the big box companies that have the right to sue because they're not part of the government? Hold on, no, NBA, ABC, and CNN that used to run around and talk about Michael Jackson being a pedo all the time, right?
Hey, watch
Whatever.
that. I don't care what you say on
Sorry,
other people's
yeah.
channels, but don't
Yeah,
say it on
whatever.
my channel.
Yeah, talking about that all the time. How many times did Michael Jackson sue NBC or CNN? He didn't have the right to, so he didn't.
Bro,
Nowadays, today, things are lax again.
You can absolutely, if you have never been convicted of being a PDF, you can absolutely sue somebody for saying that you're one. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. You're leaving out
court.
You're leaving out context. This is not just about someone saying something offensive and the other person being offended by it. It's deeper than that.
Yeah, I don't know why people
It's
keep
not deeper.
trying to. I don't
It's
know
not
why
deeper
people.
than that.
So
It's not
let me
deeper
so
than
let me
that.
ask, so Blackish. Let me ask the question. What did Leslie or Sharita say about Corey?
It doesn't matter.
So
Corey has
the
right.
Hold on, Blackish. Hold on.
I'm going
Blackish, hold
to.
on.
You asked me
Blackish,
a
hold on.
question. Please allow me to answer it.
So did they
Let
say
me no.
anything?
Let me
at all?
answer the question, please.
Did
You
they
asked me
say
a question.
any-
Let me
did they
answer
say
the
any-
question.
Did they say
Let's
any?
keep it simple.
Did Sharita
Let's
and
keep it-
Leslie? Did Sharita
Please,
and
sir.
Leslie? Did Sharita and Leslie say anything about Corey Holcomb?
It doesn't matter.
That's not
No,
an answer.
They didn't.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
It
Continue.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. he has a right to say whatever he wants to, as long as it's not violent. That's the only thing. That's the only thing everyone can agree on. You can't go around and say you're gonna, destroy people. Right? You can't say that. You can go around and say, "Hey, that dude." No, you can go around and say, "Hey, that dude's an asshole. That dude's an asshole, and his family's full of whores." You can say that all day.
Okay, you actually can.
So let me just actually you can't. But
well, you know what? Whenever anyone says anything I don't like, I'm going to sue them.
You
all right. So let's just live in that world.
You got money to do it. Do it.
You can. You got money to do it.
Hold on. The matter is you can.
Us being black, we should just totally be okay with not us being able to sue the white man.
All right.
Wait. The black man can sue the black man.
Hold on.
When we sue the white man, our case gets thrown out. That's what we're failing to realize here.
Here's the thing, right? So you can absolutely sue somebody for saying something that you didn't like. You're not gonna win the case.
Exactly.
But you can sue them. The point is they're suing on the grounds of certain things. It's not just, he said something that we didn't like.
But what he said technically leads to her mental state and all of the other stuff. So it still falls back on what he said. Because they're saying now.
Who said? Can you put names on it, please? Who said?
Well,
Corey said about her mental state.
Is saying that she has mental distress and all, mental anguish and all that based off his words.
Because she decides to go online and look at all that. Because she decides to go, and you can't just. The internet's not in your brain. It's not going through your head all the time.
Okay,
you have to pick up a device and you have to connect to it. No, you have to connect to be offended. So these people that are oh my God, she can't live her life anymore because every time she goes on Twitter, she's a post about herself.
We're talking about a child, dude. We're talking about a 17-year-old dude.
No.
It doesn't. Okay, listen. You know what?
Blackish, hold on. You got to pass the mic. Blackish,
you keep saying the 17-year-old crap.
Blackish, you have to pass
I hear that, bro.
Blackish, you have to pass the mic. I understand that you're saying what you're saying, but you have to pass the mic as other people.
Yeah, relax, Mike. Jamaican brethren.
Hold on. First of all, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. What you're saying is ridiculous because she's not the only one that goes on the internet. Okay. Her classmates go on the internet. People around her go on the internet. So if she chooses not to go on the internet because she doesn't want to see it, that doesn't mean she's not necessarily going to be affected by it.
So she should sue the people that are telling her about what they're seeing on the internet.
Well, if she
because they're the ones that are directly affecting her.
She can sue the source of it.
No.
You sound crazy right now.
So wait, you're saying that instead of Leslie and Sharita suing Corey, they should be suing people who brought the information to them?
Oh yeah, because those people are actually giving.
Those
are the direct. No, listen, bro. Because listen, she didn't have the information until those individuals gave it to her.
Let me ask you
the information that the individuals gave to her are the ones that is the information that caused her distress.
He supplied the information for them to give her.
Let me ask you a question. If me and you was driving down the street and I slam into your car and it's my fault, you can sue me, but you telling me you can't sue the insurance company too?
Now you're talking about something that has a lot of legalese around it.
Angry man wins again. Angry man wins again.
Did y'all hear the question that he asked? Everybody's tripping out. But did you actually hear the question?
I heard the question. Wait, I heard the question.
I can sue both of you.
But wait, I heard the question. I heard the question that he asked, but I think
you know why I can sue the insurance company? You know why?
Why?
Because that's insurance law.
Okay, and there's defamation law too.
That's the law.
We have defamation law too.
So what's the history of defamation law? Tell me.
Yeah, yeah.
I
What's
could
the
give you
history of
I
that?
could give you a recent case. Hold on, no, I could give you a recent case.
Go.
E Black, I'll give you a
Hold
recent
up, hold up,
case.
hold up.
I'm gonna say something
wait,
right now.
Hold on,
It's
y'all.
gonna
Hold on,
offend
y'all.
someone.
Wait.
What?
Hold on. Omni is trying to speak. Hold on, y'all. Go ahead, Omni.
I'll give you a recent case. Happened not too long ago. Cardi B versus Tasha K.
Exactly. And the reason why is because she was told that this information was false, and because it was repeatedly stated as fact after the fact that she knowingly did that. That's the reason why she lost that defamation case.
That's not the reason why she
That's
lost
not
the
the
case.
reason why she lost the case.
Okay,
It's not the reason
All
why
right.
she lost the case.
Let me ask you this: have there been a situation where two podcasters went back and forth?
You're saying two.
See,
You got it. You got to
Yeah,
stop.
you
Wait,
This is the problem.
you have to stop
This is
saying
the problem.
E Black.
Complete my statement.
E
Can I-
Black. You
can I
have to
complete
stop.
my
You have to
statement?
stop.
My statement
Wait,
has
hold on.
nothing
Wait.
to do with what you're talking about.
You have to stop saying two podcasters.
You're repeating the same bullshit. I'm
Okay, cool. Go
saying-
ahead.
And Sharita are not.
Can I?
Okay, so it
Let him
doesn't
finish.
affect-
Let him finish. Let him finish. Hold on. Let him finish. Let him finish. Go ahead.
Okay. Has there been a situation in which two podcasters had a
In the
back-
past, yes.
and children were mentioned?
In the past, yes.
What happened with those situations?
Don't know. You tell me.
Not guilty.
I'm trying to remain a host, but you're about to piss me off. Hold on, angry man. Hold on. So, wait. E Black. E Black. I'm trying to remain a host, but you're about to piss me off. I'm gonna tell you how you're about to piss me off. I'm gonna tell you how you're about to piss me off. In the past, with those two podcasters where children were being mentioned, what happened?
It got thrown out
Why did it get thrown out?
because they had a war of words.
Did the children sue? So what the fuck is you talking about?
Why?
The
Okay,
children
wait,
were never
wait.
plaintiffs on that case. were
Okay,
they?
so what you're saying is that if those children sued, they would have won.
More than likely, they would. Yeah.
See the problem.
No.
See the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. E Black.
You're
The
just making
problem.
up shit.
E Black.
You're making up shit.
E Black. You
Yeah,
said.
like law
You
doesn't
said.
change.
E Black. You said what's the
getting the
history?
law up to date with all of this internet stuff that's going on?
E Black.
Like, law changes. What are we
E
talking
Black.
about?
You said what's the history of defamation? See, the problem is you don't understand defamation, right? So
Yeah, I don't understand
let me break it down to you, right? So if you came to my house and you put your hand on my pearly white car,
That's assault. Or, I'm sorry.
Assault? Yes, you assaulted the vehicle.
I thought you
Well,
were saying your part.
This is the age of AI, you know.
listen,
I heard
if you
pearly white. and I was just like,
listen, if you put your hand on my all white car and left your black ass handprint on it, and then you went and told everybody I had a black car, I'm suing you for defamation because that's a white car, nigga. Stop lying about my car because you put your black ass hands on it.
Facts. So I'm trying to understand, E Black. You keep saying there's a history of two podcasters. There is a history of two podcasters, and you can't even use Cardi B and Tasha K because Cardi B is not a podcaster. She is a singer. Now, with that being said, there is a history because this is the bullshit that you pulled last night with Barstool Sports and Michael Rappaport. The children didn't sue. There has not been a case. There's not been a case where a child has says this person had a back and forth with my parent, and I'm now here to collect the damages because of the engagement that they had affected me. You don't have a case like that. Nowhere in history. I'm not inferring anything. I'm not inferring. I'm making a statement of wait. I'm making a statement. I'm making a statement of fact. Hold on, and I'll let y'all have it. I'm making a statement of fact that a child and a wife, the mother of that child, has come forth to say that the actions brought forth by Corey Holcomb, 5150 Show, and those 1 through 25 has affected them because of their actions and or statements that was made. It does not say anywhere on here that my father is the resulting factor of what happened to me.
It actually does. What are you?
No, it does not. Wait, it does not. Wait, it does not. It does not. It does not. Wait, stop. E Black,
you playing games with the audience.
This is. I'm not playing games with the audience. Where do you want me to start at? Upon information and belief in January of 2026,
The Corey Holcomb 5150 show was aired through YouTube and had a wide audience in the United States. The 5150 show was aired on or about January 13, 2026. Anton Daniels, the father of plaintiff Leslie Daniels,
Why does that matter?
Stop. You said, why does it matter? Because
I'm asking you the rhetorical reasons. Why does it matter if we're talking about two?
Why does it matter? Because
Why
this
do
is
you
factual. Do you not understand what factual background is?
Yes, I exactly
Okay,
understand.
cool.
why.
So let me ask you a question. In the case, what was the name of the young boy that they tried to charge for? They said that he allegedly took a AR across state grounds and shot a whole bunch of people. What was his name again?
We're talking about different laws, man.
Hold on, wait. Just give me a second. What was his name?
Rittenhouse.
What was his name? What was his name?
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. Can Rittenhouse sue? Can Rittenhouse sue for everything that all of the multimedia people were saying about him, that he was shooting black people and that he was a racist? Can he sue?
Yep.
He can sue
Okay. Why? Why can he sue?
because that's the freedom of our justice system.
Oh, because was
No.
it factual that he shot anyone that was black?
No,
Trey, I'm gonna take you off camera for a second because I don't want children on camera.
he can sue, but doesn't
Can
mean
he?
he's gonna win.
Can he? Was it factual that he shot any person that was black?
He can sue, but it doesn't.
Was it
matter.
factual? That's my question. Did anyone
Didn't
that was
shoot
black
nobody
get
that was
shot?
black.
He did not.
I'd have to think about this case.
No, no
Actually,
one was shot. It was 3 white people that were shot.
Okay. yeah.
Actually, he technically did shoot at a brother, but he didn't. He didn't file. He didn't file no complaints. He didn't
No,
go to the police
no.
department.
He
didn't go
shot
to the
at him.
hospital.
Wait, listen. 3-man. I was there. I moderated the whole entire case. That black dude that jumped on top of him and kicked him in his head, he shot at him and he missed because earlier in the night, that dude was standing on top of a car and he said, I'm going to take that gun and I'm going to shoot you, white boy. That's what would happen. I was there. I watched it. I sat through every hour of that trial. Now, hold on. I want to get back to that for a second.
Defamation.
What does that have to do with defamation? What did mainstream media, what did Black Lives Matter, what did celebrities, what did entertainers say? Oh, this white boy was driving across state lines and they killed the black boy. They was out there shooting black people. You know about all those people, all those Black Lives Matter people that said that Justice Smollett was attacked by who?
You're grandstanding because
I'm not grandstanding. I'm telling you. I'm not. No, you're not going to call factual. You're not. Hold on, wait, time out, because apparently you don't listen. So I'm gonna try this again. So you want to argue against factual information based on people's opinion. A fact does not need to be justified because it is a fact. 2 + 2 is 4. We all know this, right? So does it need to? Is it in my opinion that 2 + 2 is 4? No, it's a fact. When going through. No, I did not conflate a house of hypocrites. But anyway, back to you.
Understand this.
So the fact of the matter is that Anton Daniels. The fact that I don't want to argue because I'm just a host. The fact of the matter is that Anton Daniels went on to Corey Holcomb's show.
That's
They
the
got
factual
into it. That's a fact. We can agree, right? That's a fact. Anton Daniels. Wait, stop. That's a fact that Anton Daniels went to Corey Holcomb's show. Yes or no?
Yes, and the
Is it a fact? Is it a fact that they got into it? Yes or no?
Yes, that's correct.
Is it a fact that Sharita and Leslie's name was mentioned during that fight? Yes or no?
No.
Is it a fact that Corey went live a week later and put this minor child on the screen and said crazy, fucked up, defamatory shit about her, and that he put his wife up there and he said shit about her too? Is that a fact?
Yes.
So what the fuck are we talking about Anton for?
The reason why is because, like the document that you submitted, they had to provide a factual background. They had to tell the judge, they had to tell why this case is being brought. The reason why this case is being brought, just like it said in the first line of a factual background, is that Anton Daniels went on to a show. This is the first.
Upon information and belief, in January 2026, the Corey Holcomb show was aired through YouTube and had wide audience in the United States. It's not the first line. The second line. The 5150 show was aired on about January 13. Anton Daniels, the father of plaintiff, not the plaintiff, the father of plaintiff, Leslie Daniels, and the husband of plaintiff, Sharita Daniels, appeared on that show. After introductory comments were made by defendant Holcomb and the guests, two individuals became involved in an intense, heated discussion and provocative remarks were exchanged. The following week, January 20th, 2026, defendant Corey Holcomb aired another 5150 show. During the show, the defendant twice aired a photograph of plaintiff Leslie Daniels standing immediately in the back of American flag at 3224 and at 3302 of the show. See Exhibit 1, which I'm not showing here. The defendant Holcomb clearly identified plaintiff Leslie Daniels as the daughter of Anton Daniels while the photo was shown. Host Corey Holcomb made disparaging and highly offensive statements about plaintiff and her father. Now, I'm going to ask you this one more time. What does this have to do with Anton?
He started
Why
it.
did they put it in there then?
Oh, he started. This is
Why did they put it? Hold on,
He started by engaging with the other person.
Hold on.
They are asking me. You got listen to what you're trying to question in this.
Crazy.
You're asking me what does Anton have to do with it while reading a public document that was submitted to a court and telling you why.
There is no judge.
Can I ask for some whiteness on the panel, please? Can we stop talking over each other?
There is no judge. Nobody logically is going to say that it's Anton's fault that Corey decided to do that.
Why mention it?
Did he originally engage with him?
Because it's part.
Did he continue to engage with him?
Because it's part of what happened.
Case. So when you have context,
Because it's part of what happened.
So wait, hold on. Because it's in part of what happened, the judge then has to make a judgment or an opinion of how to rule because it's part of what happened.
Okay, but here's the problem. Here's the problem, E Black. Here's the problem.
Am I living in the twilight zone?
This is dangerous, man.
Here's the problem.
Real dangerous.
Hang on, y'all. One thing.
Here's
Yes, it is.
Will, can you
It is.
search that document how many times Anton was actually on the 5150 show?
Can I search through the document how many times he was on the show or how many times he was mentioned in the document?
How many times he was actually on the 5150 show?
One time.
Since January 13th. How many times Anton been on there?
One time.
Okay, and Corey talked about his family, what, 2, 3
For weeks.
Thank you.
4 weeks at a time.
So Anton being there, it would be different if Corey said all of this while Anton was there. Then what E Black is saying make a little bit of sense. But because all of this happened and Anton wasn't nowhere near Corey, that you have to throw that out.
What?
But you have to
What the fuck are you talking about?
You have to
What is it
establish
based on?
association
Your
and
opinion?
verify
How you
why he
feel?
would go after them. He went
Is that
after them
based
because
on
he
your-
was pissed off with Anton. He was pissed off with Anton because Anton made him like a
This
fucking
speaks.
fool in front of thousands of people. Corey
This
was
speaks.
pissed off. He didn't have no content, so he decided to go after Leslie and Rita. And because it kept the more traction he got, the longer he tried to drag that out. Now he don't have nothing to say and ain't nobody watching. It don't take too long.
Give me a second. Hold on. Give me a second because I do gotta get some order. So Angry Man wanted to speak. House of Hypocrites came up. Blackish, I think you wanted to say something. If not, then I can go ahead and move on. But Angry Man wanted to speak. Then House of Hypocrites. And House of Hypocrites, thank you for the cash up for not being on camera. Appreciate you. All right, so go ahead, Angry Man.
okay. We get that y'all don't like Anton. We understand that. Okay. But Anton had a back and forth with Corey Holcomb on his show. During that show, neither Anton nor Corey Holcomb brought up Anton's wife and daughter. At no point on that show, right? A week later, Corey Holcomb decided of his own volition to bring them into the situation. That is not, Anton is not culpable for that. What line of logic are you using, E Black?
The exact same logic is the reason why they are putting it into the case because it provides context to the context of the case.
Okay,
That's the reason why. Even the lawyers of them are saying it matters. Am I saying, am I Michael? The lawyers are saying it matters.
If a document is drawn up because of a situation that happened, Of course, they're going to include the details of the situation.
And the details of the situation matter.
But that
right?
doesn't make him culpable. What are you talking about?
No, actually, it does.
No,
Oh
it
my
doesn't.
God.
It does.
No, it doesn't. If I rob a freaking store
Right.
and there are
Talking about
people in the
felony?
damn
You're talking
store,
about felony
no.
robbery?
If I rob a
I'm talking
store,
about defamation or
if
slander.
I rob a store, no, we're talking
Are
about
we talking
paperwork
about
right now.
defamation and slander?
We're talking about
notice y'all
paperwork
keep
right
coming
now.
up with different type of
We're
examples
talking about.
that don't
See,
include
notice
defamation.
you're fucking filibustering because you don't want me to say shit that makes sense.
Jesus.
If what I'm saying is ridiculous, let me say it, and that'll give you a moment to have your 5 seconds of fame. You're talking about paperwork right now. Regardless of whatever type of case you're dealing with, you're still talking about paperwork. If you have paperwork, you're going to put the context of everything that happened in it. You may even include people in it. That doesn't mean they're culpable for certain things in that paperwork.
I just think you're just factually wrong, and you're just not acting like.
I'm not factually wrong.
It's okay to say you don't know.
I'm not
It's okay
factually wrong.
It's okay to say
I'm
that.
not factually wrong.
It's okay to say that.
I am not factually wrong.
It's okay.
Angry
to say,
man, can you stop filibustering, please? If he's wrong, let him speak, Angry man,
I'm
please.
not factually wrong.
It's okay, Angry man. It's okay to say, in my opinion, I believe that Anton should be left out. That's your opinion.
No,
what's going to happen is they're going to
what's
go.
okay.
What's going to
No,
happen
what's
is they're going to go
okay.
into court
No,
and they're
what's
going to say
okay.
something different.
No, what's okay is for me to say what my opinion is or what my position is, not you to tell me what it is. That's why when I'm conversing with you, I'm asking you questions about what you said. I'm not putting words in your mouth. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. I've literally went into court without a lawyer and won cases. You don't know what you're talking about.
Did you win defamation cases?
Bro, I never had a defamation case.
Okay, so
I've never had a defamation case. I've
I'm
never
like-
had a defamation case.
I'm
But
not
at the
gonna
end
do
of the day, paperwork is paperwork. Court proceedings is court proceedings.
Okay, so since you're a lawyer, is criminal law different
Did
than
I say I
civil
was
law?
a lawyer? Did I
Hold
say
on.
I was a lawyer?
Well, I could have
Did
sworn
I
you just
say
said
I
you won
was a lawyer?
cases.
Did I say I was
Okay,
a
my
lawyer?
bad.
Like-
My apologies.
No.
Okay, well, let's not get
Okay, so
hung up
stop.
on that. My
No,
apologies.
no,
I did not.
no, because-
Let's
no,
act like I
because
didn't
you
say
are-
it.
No,
Please
no,
stop.
No, stop.
Please,
No,
please, just
no,
stop. I didn't
no,
say
no,
it. I didn't
no,
say
no,
it.
no, no.
Okay,
Stop for a
I'm
second.
sorry.
Stop for a second. If you want to
I
have a
gotta stop.
conversation in good faith, do
Oh,
that.
God.
Let's not start the shit off disingenuous.
Bro, Angry man. It's
Bro,
Rock.
nothing.
It's Rock the Big Gun. Angry
Bro,
man, it's Rock
nothing.
the Big Gun, bro.
Bro, nothing.
Chill, bro.
Bro,
You
you
I know you remember me. Chill. Stop
Hey,
attacking me,
let-
bro. I
let-
love
hey,
everybody.
let me-
in Jesus, you chill.
Mix
All right.
Jesus is going
Hey,
ham.
This is what we're talking about right here. This is what we're talking about. Criminal law and civil law has different levels of evidence that you have to have in order to try it in the court, right?
True.
Civil law is a very low bar. So it can still get past the initial phase of things. But once it gets to actual judge, right? Like the first magistrate, it probably went to a magistrate, and the magistrate was like, yeah, whatever, they signed off on it, and that's why everyone's talking about it now, because it's going through, right? Now, when it actually gets to the actual courtroom, it's going to be a different story, because I feel that if you're engaging with someone, you open yourself up to a lot of things, all right? And that does include your family being part of your critique of someone
That would
critiquing
make
you.
sense if he did
Your
it while
family,
Anton
your
was on the
family, your
show.
daughter, your dog, your house, your neighborhood, your neighbors, everyone's fair game, basically, because you're deciding to
Who agrees
include
to that?
yourself
Let me ask you a
with the
question.
other. That's what it is, though.
Let me-
That's
let
what
me
it
ask you
is.
a
We
We're
can't live in a
cooked. We
world.
actually believe this.
I
Let me
cannot
ask you a
believe that we have a bunch of men
Let
up
me ask
here
you a question.
arguing facts as if they're white liberal women from 15 years ago,
Let me
saying
ask
that
you
you
a
can't offend anyone, and if you do, you need to be sued into the ground and your house needs to be taken away.
Let me ask you a question. First of all, you're making a factually incorrect statement. No one up here.
What is that?
no one up here has stated that if someone says something offensive, you should be able to sue them into the ground and take all of their property. No one has said that. And y'all keep trying to, the reason why y'all keep trying to reframe it that way is so that your argument will actually have some validity.
So if they win the court case, what's going to
Let
happen?
him finish, Blackish.
No one is saying that. I offend people every day. No one is saying that. Okay? Now, let me ask you a very simple question. When you have a defamation case, how is that case usually played out? Is it usually played out with a judge or a jury?
I would say 50-50.
50-50, right?
Yeah,
So,
I'd say 50-50.
Here's my question. As much as we're sitting here pontificating about all of this, if it's a judge that has to make the determination and he feels like Corey is wrong, how's the case going to go?
Well, I mean, he has to follow the Constitution. So
what?
I feel like this is it's gonna be thrown out, or the judge is going to decide not to get in the middle of it. And just like what happened with the whole.
I'm gonna ask it again. Whether it's a judge, whether it's a judge or a jury, if the judge or the jury feels like Corey is wrong, how is that case going to be decided?
Exactly. What's going to be the consequences? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to pay money.
They're going to win, right?
No, the consequences is you having to pay money.
No,
and maybe make a statement.
Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if a judge decides that Corey is wrong, or the jury decides that Corey is wrong, that means Corey's going to lose that case, right?
Sure, he loses the first case, yes.
Okay, so E Black up here making his proclamations. The shit is ridiculous. Because here's the thing that
stay on track.
Here's the
thing. Just talking about. Can I say something? We were just talking about if the case follows through to the end and what's the consequences of the case, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The consequences of the case is the gentleman making a public statement and probably paying money. All right.
Okay, so here's the thing. Will brought up something very important, right? Because E Black keeps bringing up legal precedents, which is important. Okay?
Yeah.
Here's my question. Do we have legal precedents for this specific type of case? In other words, do we have legal precedents where a content creator went back and forth with another content creator, decided to bring the content creator's family into the conversation where they did things that were violations of certain penal codes, and then that content creator's family brought the lawsuit? Do we have precedents for that?
I'm pretty sure they've gotten all thrown out. That's why we haven't heard of any of them. Okay. And here's the question: if that's the defining point of bringing someone else into it, my question would be: did she make any statements about the original podcast? That would be my question.
When you say she, who are you talking about?
If she tweeted or Facebook
Blackish,
post,
when you say she, are you talking about Blackish? When you say she, are you talking about Leslie and you talking about Sharita?
Yes.
So your question is: did Leslie or Sharita make a post or say anything about Corey, saying things about them?
No, I'm talking about the original podcast before Corey even came out and said all these things about them. Did they say something about him
say, like, my
in
dad
the 2
was
weeks? Yeah.
No.
When their father's beefing with somebody else, they're not going to go online and say something. Oh, they're just going to be. Oh,
I mean, I know it's a wild concept, but not everybody needs to react to everything.
Well, not only that,
it's a wild concept.
Not only that,
how did they get involved in all of this?
I know people.
It seems like he saw
Hold on. Hold on. I know people want to mount. Hold on. I know people want to mount a defense for Corey, and I have
Not
no
a
problem with
defense,
you.
bro. We're just talking constitutional. I'm a
No,
constitutionalist. Not defense for any
you're
individual.
talking hypotheticals, right? And we only dealing with the facts. The hypothetical is that maybe they did post something, or maybe they didn't. When we're dealing with the facts, the facts is that as it stands right now, Corey's actions. Jesus Christ! Go ahead, man. I got a kid. Give me a second.
His words.
No shit. Okay.
So can
Here's
we
the question I would say.
Hold on, Blackish. Does the audience matter in this conversation, Angry Man or anybody on the panel? Does the audience have a role to play?
No, I don't think so.
As far as the stream where he was making the disparaging comments.
I'm just saying, in general, would the judge take into consideration the audience?
If the audience found it funny or not, probably not.
Oh yeah. Well, no, hold on. That is part of it. I was reading over here that it depends on if the reasonable person watching the information or hearing the information can discern it for themselves to if it was true or not. Right? That's the difference. That's the difference.
This is why I'm gonna say E-Black. In civil cases, the audience reaction tends to not matter as much as the character of the person who did the thing.
I would disagree. I would say the context of the situation and the audience.
No. They're looking at your history.
Someone's in
They're looking at the person's character.
I'm going to repeat what I said.
Go ahead.
Context of the
Beans, you
situation.
can pull up if you want to. I don't know who your ops is. Give me 1 second. Someone in the back named Kendrick. You got to be on camera, big homie. Go ahead, yo.
The context of the situation. People who are watching a situation matter in a defamation lawsuit, because the judge is going to ask, like Blackish was alluding to, does the reasonable person watching Corey Holcomb and Anton, are they able to decipher facts versus hyperbole versus rhetoric versus all this other stuff that's going on? And if they say, you know what, based on the situation, this looks like two podcasters having a beef, and they're going to say, we're going to throw this out. And that's what the case law study is.
Time out.
Stop saying Anton, because we're talking about Les, and you're talking about a 17-year-old child.
Time out. E-Black.
Y'all got to get over the next
one.
You got to get over the 17-year-old thing, bro. You got to get over that. He's online posting like everybody else.
Stop. Y'all sound like y'all in agreement. Other people wants to get in. You can't talk over them. If you E-Black and you Blackish, if y'all in agreement on this and what he said just landed both of y'all argument, why do y'all need to continue to keep talking while other people is talking?
God damn it, because everybody else is doing it, bro.
Okay, well, guess what? You see me stopping it. Yeah, you see me stopping it. Ain't nobody picking on nobody.
The constitutionalist is trying to silence people.
I know he's trying to silence, but he's trying to silence my First Amendment right on my show, and he ain't paid not $1, not a super chat or a cash app. I'll shut the fuck up. Send a $200 super chat. I'll shut up. I'll get off the show. That's how you shut me up. You shut me up with money, but other than that, y'all made y'all point. I'm sorry. E-Black made y'all point. Y'all point landed. Let it be rebutted. Go ahead.
So E-Black and this gentleman from Nazareth. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Look, here's the thing, bro. See, I forgot what I was gonna say because of y'all's rant, man. See, that's how y'all silence.
I was talking about audience and the precedents and this perspective of the audience.
The audience. Okay, the audience. What Almanaz and Omni said is true. They're gonna look at his character, and y'all keep saying that. Oh, you got to get over the 17-year-old. You can't get over the 17-year-old because that's part of the violation. Is the fact that he posted a picture of a minor. That's part of it.
Which part of the charges are the 17-year-old taken into effect?
That's the
Now, is
part
there
where
a
he.
difference
That's the part
between
where he
a
posted.
toddler and a 17-year-old?
No. What law?
That's
Because
the.
they
That's
they
I
the.
brought together
mean,
six
That's the.
E
sections.
Black, I understand you want to interject, but let him finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You said, is there a difference between a 17-year-old and a toddler? If
We
I'm
ain't
not
talking
mistaken, in the eyes of the law, a minor is a minor. So
So there's a
when you-
slander of a minor law.
so no, so here's the thing. You see, you keep trying to change it. E Black, you keep trying. Do we need to pull up the penal code? You're not allowed to post a photo of a minor without the parents' express permission. So that's number one.
In
In
any form.
addition to that, because you're talking about a court case, if this sees the court, if it doesn't get struck down initially, right? If this goes into court, you have to factor into the fact that this was a minor that he was talking about, in addition to the countless videos he has saying weird shit about minors.
All right, give me a second, y'all. Shout out to the BTSI show with $20. I mean, with $10. He says, I find it unappealing when people try to sound politically correct while taking an L in discourse. Acknowledge your mistake and that your perspective was unwise. Shout out to I Am Glorilla One with $20. He says, greeting polite savages. In the states of California, Civil Code 1708.85 states that unauthorized images used for revenge the victim or parent can sue for damages. It also has a hate crime enhancement.
Ages also have
Will,
a hate crime
is that
enhancement.
statute
Well, there was no
named
criminal
in the
charges filed.
complaint?
That's out.
So let me make sure I got this right.
Nope.
In the states of California, Civil Code 1708.85 states that unauthorized images used for revenge the victim or parent, they can sue for damages. Ages, it also has a hate crime. Okay, I get what he's saying. Okay, cool. So
It can
in
be
other
argued
words,
for comedic purposes.
it can be argued for comedic purpose, but the thing is, now the argument is going to be stand in court is why did he pull up the daughter and the wife's picture? Was it to embarrass or to shame Anton? That's the
Comedic
argument that
purposes.
can be. It can be used for comedic purposes. That's what you're saying. But if that was the intent of Corey doing that, then now we just got something else on the table.
Let me say this.
And
Let
I
me say
don't-
this. Let me say
And
this.
by the way, to any and everybody, oh, that's THP. Hey, THP, what's up, man? What's going on? Hey, make sure you the link is pinned if y'all want to join up. Please be on camera. Y'all go ahead.
Let me say this, because this is the other part that E Black is. Now, let me ask you this, E Black. Honestly, all jokes aside, bro. We know that Corey's lawyer, if he has any damn sense, he's going to try to strike it down immediately for free speech, right? If it makes it past that, if they say, nah, we're going to go through with it, are you telling me right now that if they start playing videos of Corey talking his shit, that there's not going to be any type of sympathy? Is that what you're telling me?
I think, in my opinion, I think even Howard Stern went through a lot of this stuff. All that doesn't matter. Free speech and the
shouldn't
rule of
sway
law
the
and the
opinion.
Constitution is way more above anything in the court of law, not the court of public opinion, not how you feel, not how it makes you want to think, but the free speech is technically the rule of the land.
Fair enough, but that's not what I'm talking about. When we're talking about this right now, we're talking about the court of public opinion. If we're talking about a jury, if we're talking about a jury, we're talking about opinions. We're talking about the opinions of the people there that are parents that may have daughters of their own. If they're sitting there watching a video, because if they make it to an actual court case, they're going to play those videos. If they play those videos of Corey saying those things about her, in addition to the things he said about other underage girls, are you telling me there's going to be no sympathy from the jury at all?
Well,
I
one
don't
is
think
more
so.
PDF
I-
type comments, and the other one was more insulting type comments.
It would
I don't
Trey. It would establish.
correlate the two.
It would establish a history of him having problems with minors.
But
Yeah.
let me say this. juries are, you guys got to understand, your average jury is a very educated group of individuals. I developed a jury system. These people, they love the law. They love going to do their civic duty, and they've been instructed by the judge, and they get a pamphlet based on the situation.
So you go all over the country doing this?
And
you go all over the country developing juries?
No, I developed a digital jury impaneling system.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you mean to tell me progressive CA, right? Progressive CA, blue state CA under under Newsom right now, with all of their problems, not problems, they got problems, but all of their policies and their liberal ideations and liberal ideals. Him saying that about children in the era where the Epstein files was a big commotion, right? You think that they're not going to have a problem with Corey?
I definitely
jury
don't
selection.
think. I definitely don't think so.
For that particular case, it's not
hold
on, wait. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me for a second.
I can't wait to see this.
Hold on, wait. Give me a second, because hold on. One of my guests just came on the panel. Excuse me for a second, Mr. Grover. What's going on, G? How are you,
gentlemen? What's going on? How are you doing?
I greatly appreciate you pulling up. Hey, y'all, please excuse me. I am outside taking a quick smoke break, so please, y'all, be behaved. But yes, Grover, welcome to the show. Make sure that y'all please are sharing and liking the stream, and y'all continue to our conversation. Go ahead.
Yeah, and for the record, especially to that savage down there at the bottom, E Black, when the host of the show interrupts, you allow him to hold court on his show, you savage.
All right. My apologies.
See, my point proven. Everyone's turning into a white liberal woman. My case is closed.
But no, I don't think you guys recognize the fact that juries are have instructions, and this is not just a red state, blue state thing. This is a constitutional thing. So I don't think there's no big bag boogeyman of California jurors who believe in certain things. This is about law.
Well, if I could, E Black, I want you to know that for someone who's been on a lot of juries in California and did a lot of work with kids who actually went under Seth's law, which I believe that if Anton's lawyers have any salt, they're going to refile and amend this to Seth's law.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Royalty just poured into the building. Nate, what's going on, dog?
The lawyer. Yo.
Okay. Nate the lawyer. What's up, man?
Mic check. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hold on 1 second. So we got another opportunity to see E Black go up against another lawyer.
Actual lawyer? Let's.
This is crazy.
Nate the lawyer. What's up, man?
No, I'm all right. You sent me the invite. I just got it, so I was like, I always tell you I'm gonna stop by. So today I'll actually stop by.
Oh, they sent you to get me jumped. That's what they doing. Okay, I see what's going on. I see what's going on.
You're mad. You're mad. An individual with credentials is up here now. Okay.
And by the way,
I just want to. I was just saying.
Nate, love you.
One of the things I did was I was actually researching to make sure my video was correct. And I also have some experience because I've had some kids who I mentored who actually fell under who were protected by these laws and these enhancements. And so I could just say that in California, I hate to tell you though, California laws are written by a white liberal woman. So that's the first thing you got to think about. California is 100% Democrat controlled supermajority. So a lot of times when we're having these arguments from a position of, well, it's not right, or this is what's going to happen here, we got to think about the state that it's being tried in. And I have the civil statute right here, and I'll actually read from it. It's an enhancement to Seth's law. It has a civil side and a penal side. And the civil side says this protects against the unauthorized distribution of images often used in revenge or harassment scenarios. Private cause of action, the victim or their parent on behalf can sue the harasser for damages. Identifying characteristics the law specifically protects identifying characteristics, which includes the minor's image, name, or social media profile. And also the hate crime enhancement is if you mention anything with their sexuality And Corey made a joke about their sexuality. Now I want to be clear. I'm a huge Corey Holcomb fan. I'm just being honest and saying where I've seen liability can be.
Well,
I like Anton Daniels. I don't know. It ain't like I know the brothers. I'm hanging out with them. I know like E Black. I'm just saying I don't know Angry Man. I'm a fan of Angry Man, right? I don't know Nate. I'm a fan of Nate. I'm just being honest. We're saying that I see some liability here, and when one of the things in California is everyone knows you don't mess with people's kids because this happens all the time. It usually just gets settled out of court.
Can I step in? Can I step in here real quick? Because there was a case very similar to this that just settled for something like $2-3 million. It happened in Texas, where they had a very similar law regarding minors. It was actually a BLM attorney, and it was a young kid. His mother, he had gone to his friend's house. They played a prank on him. Supposedly he was drinking pee, and the mother flipped out, and she said it happened to be a black kid who had drunk the pee in a white kid's house. So the mother called the white kid racist. They doxed the white kid. They put his name out there. People went to this white kid's house. So the white kid sued the mother and the lawyer for saying that he was a racist for putting his information, and got $3 million. And the reason why is because obviously minors are protected more. So I think this harassment thing would be serious liability, because don't forget, this was a case in which her son was bullied. Her son was made to drink pee, but she and her lawyer were forced to pay this white kid, which is kind of crazy, $3 million for the harassment. So it is some serious liability out there for that particular case.
And that's Nate, the lawyer, talking. E Black and light skinned Jesus.
I would ask the question: Is 17 still considered a complete minor?
In the state of California,
also, if she was engaging in discourse online about the original issue that her father and the other gentleman had, does that open her up for critique?
No.
I was asking the lawyer.
Well,
what about her being an international fighter?
So two things. If it's the adult, yes, you don't have any issue. But when you're talking about minors, then that's the issue. And also, if you're talking about a minor who's a celebrity, then you may have a different argument. But if you have a minor, that's why a lot of times when you see celebrities, they'll tell the media, don't take pictures of my children. And you don't see those pictures of celebrities' kids a lot unless they release them. And the reason why is because of these harassment laws. You can go after them for just taking pictures of your minors and publishing them. So that's why you don't see that a lot.
That's true.
Right. You satisfied?
Okay. I have one more follow-up, please. One more, please.
Hold on. Wait a second.
Does her having an Instagram following make her a quote-unquote celebrity?
No.
Well, it would be called a public figure, but there's a test for that. So how many followers does her Instagram account have?
He's doing it for instance. We don't know.
That's the question, right?
Oh yeah. So what you would have to
on Instagram?
What you would have to recognize is that just because someone is, let's say, a world-renowned athlete, does that mean if she's 14 she can have sex with an 18-year-old? No, because that doesn't change her physical status of being a minor. So we have laws that protect minors versus laws that protect adults. And this is where you get the gray, because you can have a famous minor, but those laws are still very protective of those famous minors, because let's say she doesn't want to be in the business anymore, or so forth. So I think the constitutional question you're asking, there's so many different ones, like the Gary Coleman case, where Gary Coleman was 17 and he emancipated himself from his parents. So essentially he became like a quasi-adult. So things would treat him differently than would treat others. But I want to make it very clear. I'm not saying which side is clearly going to win, but I think there's liability to be had on one side, and there's possibility of liability and there are good arguments on the other side. But if the side that if the side is making the argument the child is a public figure, meaning that it's going to be harder to prove defamation, then that's going to be something very, very, very hard to overcome if that child is declared a public figure. But in California's harassment laws, that may not matter, because harassment is something of more of a criminal nature. where you can harass somebody and not defame them. And if California laws don't really deal with the speech element of it, then we're not talking about a First Amendment issue. We're really talking about a disclosure issue. And if you're disclosing personal information about minors, no matter who they are, then you may still be open to some liability. Because now we're not talking about speech, we're talking about disclosure of personal information. Think HIPAA laws.
Yeah.
Just because they're a minor, you can't release their HIPAA information. So that's with the line I think we're trying to.
Hey, Nate, is there a difference between slander and defamation laws between minors and adults?
Is there a difference? Let me think. I don't think there would be, because defamation essentially has to overcome the First Amendment.
So once again, when people are saying he's saying this about a minor, in terms of defamation and slander, that doesn't matter, because in law they are equally treated the same.
It would be, yes. I think if you're saying this is all right. So I heard harassment of a minor, but if we're talking about defamation of a minor, that's different. Defamation of a minor still has to satisfy the First Amendment. So I can say something against a minor that may not be nice, but it would still have to satisfy the First Amendment protections. Yes.
So, so when people are saying, well, he said this about a minor, he said that about a minor, or basically said it, but those
so
under defamation.
let's just go to what was said, right? Let's
y'all
just go
dirty
to
over here, boy.
no, let's just go to what was said, right? There it is. All right. Defendant Corey Holcomb on his podcast January 20th, 2026, falsely stated that plaintiff Leslie Daniels, who's 17 years old, was a dyke. This is a disparaging, homophobic, and misogynistic slur for a lesbian, particularly one who is masculine or butch. Plaintiff Leslie Daniels is a heterosexual and is not a lesbian. The false statement was made by defendants intentionally to demean plaintiff and subject her to ridicule. Defendants knew the statement was false at the time it was made, or in the alternative, the defendants failed to use reasonable care to determine either the truth or the falsity of the statement, yet made them anyway without regard of their truthfulness.
Well,
so
I will say that first claim is a loser, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, there's no way of knowing if she's there or not.
And California specifically, it is not defamation to call someone gay, trans, or anything. So if I say you're gay and you say I'm not and call it defamation, it's a loser automatically, because being gay is not defamatory. So if that's the claim that is read, I believe that claim is a loser.
Okay. Next.
Wouldn't it still hold on for a second.
Nah, don't argue with him. He a lawyer. Don't argue with him.
That's his opinion. That's his E-Black. Hold on, E-Black. Let him ask his question.
Number one, E-Black. I'm not arguing with the man. I'm asking him a question. And I done told you, bro, if you're gonna look like if you're gonna look like Robin Harris, at least tell some jokes. So
that's cold. I'm sorry, that's cold.
Asking the question, right? Wouldn't that still be an issue with him using the derogatory term dyke as it pertains to a minor?
No.
I would again, this is just my opinion, but absolutely not. Dyke, gay, whatever, transgender, in the society we live in, especially in California, if that's what you guys are saying, it is absolutely protected to call someone gay and it not be considered defamatory. Matter of fact, I don't know which states would consider gay, dyke, or any of those things, because, and also, whenever the word can have, for instance, if I called a white person a racist, that's generally, I can't win on defamation, because it's so subjective that there's no clear factual thing that makes someone a racist. So it's so subjective that you could call someone a racist and it not be defamatory. And they essentially treat being gay and stuff like that. Number one, they'll say it's not defamatory to be gay. It's not defamatory to be a dyke. And you can't recover, because actually in our societies, in some instances, being gay is actually a plus if you're talking about things like DEI and some certain other aspects. So it's just, I would be shocked if it went through past the motion to dismiss. I'd be shocked.
So basically, what we're looking at is an issue of them pursuing the wrong type of shit. What they should be pursuing is cyberbullying.
It wouldn't be that
Well, even cyber, because again, we're talking about this criminal conduct and this civil conduct. So if we're talking about criminal conduct, then you have to go to the statute and see, okay, what is required for the but what you guys showed me, it seemed to be, again, I haven't looked at the case, it seemed to be a civil case. And the first claim in that civil case was someone called me this derogatory term, which happens to talk about my sexuality. I'm gay, I'm a dyke, or something like that. And I'm saying in California, ChatGPT it, they'll tell you generally calling someone gay or something is not defamatory.
So let me make sure I set the premise correctly. So during the stream, he pulled up the picture of Anton Daniels' daughter, who's a minor. Now, according to California Civil Code, what is this? 3344A1. Any person who knowingly uses another's name, voice, signature, photograph, or likeness in any manner on or in products, merchandise, or goods or for purposes or advertising, selling, or soliciting purchases of products, merchandise, goods, or services without that person's prior consent, or in the case of a minor, the prior consent of their parent or legal guardian, shall be liable for any damages sustained by the person or persons injured as a result thereof. Now, the reason I had to pull this up is because during his live stream, he pulled up Anton's daughter on the screen, showed a picture of her. That's where he made the comment. She's a bitch. She's gay. She's going to have to pay for sex and all this, that, and the other. Also, later down the line, I believe this is the same show, he used a depiction of her or a caricature, and he depicted her as an ape and said that the shirts is for sale. And he said, well, Anton, this your family. So looking at this law, based and just in your opinion, not legal advice, in your opinion, do you think that this will stick?
I think you can have a claim there. Yes, I think you can have a claim for maybe harassment, civil harassment. I think there should be a claim there because again, you're talking about a minor, the picture, the doxing, because that's conduct. So I think you have a couple of claims there. But I think that because we're specifically talking about the defamation claim, so I don't think the defamation claim is going to work in that particular instance. But if everything else you're saying is true, yes. If this was a minor that this was happening to, and he's doing this to a minor, you could have some serious issues.
But with that, I have one question. One thing really quickly. Does her talking about does her as a 17-year-old minor talking about the original beef they had with the two gentlemen on the original podcast, does her making comments and opinions about that online open her up?
Did she do that? Do you have knowledge that she actually did that?
Exactly. Good.
I'm 100%.
You keep bringing that up.
We
you
will
keep bringing
find
that up
out
like it's a fact of the case.
In the response, I'm sure it's going to have plenty of posts of her talking about and posting about her
she's a private
everything.
citizen.
It's a simple question.
Hold on, Nate, I got a question for you because we've been cooking on this, and I think
No, we ain't been cooking. We've been cooking. You've been dying on the hill because you keep trying to say that. Wait, you keep trying to say that this is all. Wait, you keep trying to say that this is Anton's fault, and this is not Anton's.
That's my next question. Okay.
Yeah, but this is not. Okay, well, go ahead. Ask your question.
Okay, so.
And then we got to get Grover in here too.
And Nate, from what I've seen from situations like Rappaport versus Barstool and Drake versus UMG.
Oh my God, you are not doing this right now.
That ain't got nothing.
I've seen audience and the appearance of what's going on as a key factor in defamation. Basically, can the audience confirm that two people are having a podcast beef? Anton has gone on, and after the initial situation, he went on and he went to different podcasts and proclaimed his victory. He even stated facts of shaky hands and he would beat his ass and a whole bunch of stuff. Then Tuesday, everybody was waiting for Corey's response. In that kind of context, can you see where a war of words or where a judge may say, hey, this is a war of words, and we're going to go back to historical context and ruling on this?
All right. So if they have a beef, a fight, all right, online, just words, that is in that context. It really depends on what's said. Like there's a lot of context that needs to be spread out, right? Because it really depends on who's saying what facts have the backup, and what context they're saying it. I'll give you an example. Tucker Carlson, when he was on Fox News, he said the Playboy Playmate that Trump paid to keep quiet was extorting him, and she committed the crime of extortion. And when one of his guests said, no, she didn't commit extortion, nobody even alleged that. He said, no, she in fact committed extortion. I know it for a fact. She did it. So you know what the Playboy Playmate did? She sued because she sued for defamation, right? And the court came down on Tucker Carlson's side, and he said, no reasonable person would watch Tucker Carlson's show and believe that what was being said was true because it's an opinion show. So if we're talking about these shows, and if they are opinion shows and they're clearly where they say crazy things, then yes, it would be extremely hard to win a defamation case because they'll say no reasonable person would believe these things are true. And there's another case that just recently came down on that same premise where the person was calling the cops a pedophile and had no evidence of it. And people were like, hey, it's clear. Even his lawyer was nervous. But the court came down in the end. In the Afro Man case, where the juror said no reasonable person will listen to Afro Man's music and believe that it's actually factual. So if we're in a case like that, where no reasonable person will believe these things are factual in a defamation context, let me be very clear, not in a assault context, not in a harassment,
not in a minor abuse, harassment context.
Yeah, I'm just saying in a defamation context.
Yes.
I have a question. I have a question real quick. I have a question real quick.
You may have.
Hold on, I got an important question, right? So just now, E Black put his face really close to the screen, and it got dark, and I felt like I was going blind. Can I sue for damages? Like, for real?
Can I sue Angry
Okay,
Man
so
for his
this is why E Black and Grover, I'm gonna come to you with this one because Nate been talking for a minute. I'm gonna give him a chance to get some rest right quick. So Grover, I'm coming to you this. E Black's argument is that even though Anton is not listed as a plaintiff in this case, is that because of the fight or the argument that him, Anton Daniels, and Corey Holcombs had on January 13th and the weeks-long celebration tour that Anton Daniels went on, that the reason that this suit should be thrown out is because this is all Anton's fault. That the reason that his daughter and the reason that his wife were put up there and things were said about them, that this is Anton's fault, even though he's not listed as a plaintiff in this case. Grover?
It's kind of like a root cause fallacy. So in my opinion, right? So, so it's kind of like that reasoning is kind of like saying, well, if your kids were behaving, if you would have raised your kids right, they wouldn't have gotten a fight and the other kid wouldn't have got hurt. So, my kid wouldn't have had to knock your kid out. So we're not really dealing with that. Anton probably is not on a lawsuit because Anton's wife probably filed the lawsuit. We don't know if she filed the lawsuit on the behalf of her child. We don't know exactly what's going on, but I don't really think it makes a huge difference that Anton was there because Anton wasn't there when Corey Holcomb put up his child. Now, listen, I'm the first to tell you, Anton went on I'm a beat your ass tour for a week after. I understand there was fuel on the fire, but only thing I'm saying is that it's kind of befuddles me why they're filing defamation when these laws are on the books and they're really popular and powerful in California. And I've seen it applied 5 times when I was mentoring kids. That's what I said last night. Last night when I came up and I said, look, I don't know why he filed it under this and that, but it doesn't make a difference. I think that in California, you have to be very careful, and it's written this way when you involve kids. There's an extra layer of protection when you involve kids in California. Do I necessarily think it's right that this is happening? On a one-on-one level, hey, House of Hypocrites, what's up, brother? On a one-on-one level, if I was talking to anyone here and I was engaging with anyone here, and you guys went low, and I went low, and you went low, and we got in an escalation trap, and there was no way out, I wouldn't sue anybody. That's me. But hey, I'm not Anton Daniels' wife. I'm not his child. I don't know how they feel. So, and I don't know I don't know what lawyer got a hold of them and said, this is the angle that we can actually extract money. Because that's what it comes down to. It's a civil lawsuit. It's for money. It's not for pride. It's for money. It's a lawsuit in general is to extract money. They're not going to force Corey Holcomb to never talk about this stuff again. That's not going to happen. So I think a lot of times we may try to frame it as a free speech thing. I don't really think it's a free speech thing, or as it's going to turn out. I think that sooner or later it's going to turn out, it's going to fall back on this law, because I've seen it happen a few times before in my experience. And my experience is anecdotal. I'm not a lawyer, not a litigator. I don't have any credentials. It's just I've been in a situation over and over again, and I find it when I see. That's just why a lot of people don't play with people's images of kids in California. I mean, I have a production company. I film people, and even media releases of a 17-year-old, I get their parent and I tell their parent exactly what's going to happen. And I take time and explain to them one by one exactly what's going to happen for my personal liability, because I'm doing it in California. Other places, you sign it off. Hey, this is what we're going to do. You know what you got into. I know people who film martial arts videos all over the country. In California, everybody takes 3 or 4 extra steps, because just children and that level, and because children have an extra layer of protection here that may not be in other places. So even though, like I said, the laws are written by Karens, and so that's why I feel like there's a liability there. Not because I want Corey Holcomb to do this or do that. No. It has nothing to do with that, or because I like Anton. No, it's just from my experience of what I've personally been through, and that's all. That's all. And I only came up because you sent me the link. Or
hey, I appreciate it. Is there a difference depending on where they get the picture from? Let's say, like in public.
No, because the California specifically says on that statute I put up that they can take it from their social media. It could be public. It could be private. It could be on a website. But if you're using it to make fun of somebody, that's what the enhancement to Seth's law carries.
Correct. So you have to still give express permission.
Yeah.
And Corey did not have permission.
And I want to tell you how careful people are. 90% of the videos you see with that person's face on it, with that young lady's face on it, is blacked out, because people understand the liability of it. And because she's a minor, and on YouTube, you can actually, if she complained, that video will be taken down. You can even get a strike. You can get a strike for a community guideline strike for using her image without unauthorized.
Absolutely. I've had YouTube make people blur my face out, and I'm grown.
Yeah. It was probably scared he was going to talk bad about him. I seen what you did. He black shit.
All right, so Trey first, and then I'm sorry, Nick.
Anyway, I'm gonna hop off. I don't know, unless somebody wants to ask me a question. I don't want to just say something and just bounce like I'm trying to dodge anything. I'm really neutral. I mean, I'm a big fan of. I'm a huge Corey Holcomb fan. I think people know this about me if they see my content. So it's not like I dislike anybody. And I said last night, I respect what Anton built that machine to get that much content out. I wish I knew how to do that shit, because I'm doing content right now. What I'm saying is that just in California, be getting your ass kicked for stuff.
Have I been just cooking lately? Like no, I've been cooking.
No, you have.
Why? I kind of disagree with you a little.
Did you just request a meat stretching?
Right, he just requested meat stretching. That's exactly what he just did. He just requested dick holding.
I got a question for him.
We'll talk about dick holding. I'll see you guys later.
You said you got a question.
I got a question for you really quickly.
All right.
Okay, kind of make it quick.
Can she open herself up to being part of the conversation by posting things about him online? Her social media.
Just asked that question.
I asked the lawyer the question.
He asked the same question.
It's a different lawyer guy. I'm asking a different lawyer.
What she said.
Okay, so wait, hold on. So Blackish, the reason you keep asking that, did you see Leslie or Sharita post anything about Corey?
He ain't look.
Short term.
Everyone else can be hyperbole, but me. Okay, thank you.
You
I had
asked
the same
me.
question. I had the same question, sir.
You already asked me.
I'm just answering the question. In California, I haven't seen a cutout for if somebody engages in discourse. As a matter of fact, I've seen people go back and forth on social media. One person goes too far and kind of perverts the images with AI. Just last year, and the person they actually took legal action against the family who did it, because the person who did it was actually 18 and he was doing it to a 16-year-old, but they were both in high school. And so I mean, I'm sure there's some carve outs. If you're both in high school, you're still looked at a certain way. But I would say I would be very man, I've just always thought in media kids were a red line because of those situations. Not because you shouldn't, not because you ain't roasting, not because it doesn't, it's not because it's fair or unfair. To me, it's fair game when you're in war, but California don't give a damn about what I feel about it. And that's the only thing I just try to tell folks. I see folks going back and forth with free speech, and he wanted to get involved, and Corey wanted it, and Anton wanted it. California doesn't care about all of that. They don't. I'm just telling you, I've seen it before, so that's my only opinion. And of course, Nate, if you have something to say and think I'm tripping, that's fine. Because
I think you're right with the protection of a minor, but I'm because I haven't read the complaint. So before
check your Twitter.
No, I just got it. I just picked up. So there's seems to me to be 6 actions here.
Yes.
Defamation per se, false light, defamation, the intentional infliction of emotional distress, and then the unauthorized use of names and photos. And I think we've been speaking about them all like as one thing. And I think we need to really understand kind of how this litigation works. So I think you're right. Everything you're saying is right in terms of section 3344 of the Civil Code. I think he's dead to rights. I think that's the claim that is the most liability for the defendant, because he did use their images, right?
Yeah,
Now, if we're talking about the next claim I want to talk about is IIED, that's intentional infliction of emotional distress. That means you harmed me in some way. You harmed me in some way. You assaulted me, you harassed me, or you defamed me.
Hey Nate, I got the complaint on the screen. So if you want me to go to a certain page, just let me know.
All right. No, I'm just explaining how everything kind of works together.
Okay.
So to win that intentional infliction of emotional distress claim, you have to actually win the underlying claim of defamation, or let's say if it was assault. But here you have to win that underlying claim of defamation. Now, someone else was before, I forget the gentleman's name, he was asking about the daughter's Instagram page and the wife. So from my reading of this is that the wife and the daughter are the plaintiffs in this lawsuit, right? And they are the ones who are saying that they've been harmed. Now, the problem that I think the defendant's going to have here is that the wife and the daughter, there are 2 levels of defamation. There's the negligence, which is just anybody who's not famous, and then there's malice, where you have to prove actual malice. If Corey Holcomb was on this, then it would force him to we were talking about actual malice, where you'd have to prove the defendant knew what they were saying was false and said it anyway. Here, we're talking about negligence, where the defendant, if they said something and it happens to be bad, and you don't have to prove that they knew. You just have to prove that they were essentially negligent by saying it. So it's a lower standard. So that's good for the plaintiff. That's a 1-up for the plaintiff, regardless of the Instagram account. I think that's where they're going to be. And then second, to prove that you have defamation per se, which essentially is saying, earlier someone mentioned that, hey, this is defamation, but don't they have to prove that they were harmed? Well, defamation prove that they lost something, prove that there were some damages. Defamation per se, you don't have to prove damages, because the law in defamation per se assumes that the conduct was so defamatory that damages are assumed. So, for instance, if you say someone is a victim of if someone's a criminal, then that is supposed to be by itself so bad that the law says you don't have to prove damages. Damages will be assumed. Now, obviously, you can show damages so you get a little bit more, but it's assumed. Then you have false light. Now, false light is essentially defamation, but it's defamation by implication. It's an implied defamation. The famous case for that was there was a company where somebody was stealing stuff out of the company, out of the cash, out of one of the safes. So they put up a sign that said, "Hey, if anyone has information on who's stealing money out of the safe, call this number." And right above that sign, they had this employee's picture. They didn't say he was the one that stole it, but because they put his picture right above that sign, that he was able to recover because he was put in a false light. So, and then we have the defamation for the T-shirts, which I still think goes for Section 33444, the unlawful use of images. So, what I'm saying here is that based on what I'm reading here, this is not just a joke lawsuit. This is 50-50. And when you're talking defamation, you're talking about 50-50, and you add the California element and you add the minor element. This is something that people are going to have to pay to figure out what's going on here. So I don't think this is a laugher. And I understand people talk about First Amendment rights, but when you're talking about kids, especially kids who are private citizens, and his wife, who's also a private citizen, that's going to make it extremely, extremely more likely that they can recover something based on this. And if they get one of the defamations, they're likely going to get the IIED. And I think the civil code for the unauthorized use is a game changer.
Hey, Nate, let me ask you something.
I would argue that they both have social media presence that makes them
Hold
a
on,
public
Trey.
figure.
Not Trey. Blackish. Hold on for a second.
Do you
House
see
of
their
Hypocrites.
social? God damn.
He keep bringing up his social media like he's seen it, but House of Hypocrites. What's going
Post
on?
their social media in the bag since you are so certain that it exists.
Right.
Because I know what math is, and 99% of people that live in the
I'm not
suburbs,
convinced you do know
their
what math
wives
is.
have.
Scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet, nigga.
That brother's floating in the air. How could his hands do this? Oh, someone get him out the air.
I knew it was going to happen eventually. Shout out to Kay for sending $20 to get Blackish up out of here. Blackish, you can come back in 15 minutes.
I'm sorry, that shit was
at
hilarious.
6:40. It happens all the damn time. The bounties is on. If y'all want to get somebody up out of there, y'all know to hit the cash out is $SELLYOULIGHT. Also, make sure y'all support the show. Greatly appreciate it. Let's move on. House of Hypocrites, you had a question?
Yeah, no, this was for Nate because the T-shirt thing. Now the T-shirt thing I said is weak as well because unlike Will said Corey.
I was putting 20 on 10. He said lame.
Okay, look. Will said Corey held up the shirt and said, "Hey, this is your family." He never said that. In that particular show, since we was following the fallout, we knew who he was inferring to. So even if he didn't say their name, even if we inferred as an audience that that's his family on the shirt, I made an example and said, "Well, those could be his two side bitches on that shirt," because he didn't mention their names in the entire show. So can he be sued for the particular shirt with that in that cause and claim because because we as an audience inferred that that's his family? Because when he held it up, he said, "Hey, Lane, this is dedicated to you." He didn't say this is dedicated to Anton Daniels. He didn't say it was dedicated to the family. But as an audience, since we following the beef, we understand what he meant. So can he get any damages or be at fault for that particular moment?
Nate, you on mute if you're talking.
Will, do you have a picture of the shirt? I think we probably don't want to do that. Never mind.
I think there are, but there are two claims involved in the shirt, right? The Civil Code 3344, and that's the one for the unauthorized use of likeness. I think you got them dead to rights. If they're on the shirt, they didn't approve it. It's a minor and the wife. You're essentially done at that particular point in time, right? Because that's black letter law. So I think that claim may survive. Now, you'd have to make that argument, but I'm saying that that's a factual argument. Right now we're just talking about getting through the pleadings, right? So in other words, there's a shirt. These shirts are identifiable. You know those people are his daughter and his wife, and they're saying we didn't let him use our likeness for that, and that's what they're litigating. So I think that is a stronger claim. May not be a gimme, but that's a stronger claim.
Does that look like his wife and daughter though?
That doesn't matter.
It has to matter.
It does.
No,
if they're saying he used
does.
it,
Well, you know what?
it
And
gotta look like
1000%
them.
matter, bro.
But the way the court the way the court is going to look at this is it's not whether I would know it, but would a reasonable person look at that shirt
Exactly.
and think that that's his wife and his daughter? Would a
Nate,
reasonable person?
Nate, would the text matter? That's really what I wanted to bring up,
They
not the actual
monkeys.
imagery, but the text. Hey, leave my family out of this. Would that imply that the two ladies on the shirt that are depicted as apes, would that imply that those are the gentleman's family?
To be honest with you, now that I'm seeing the shirt,
Mhm.
I'll
They're
give you my opinion.
monkeys.
My opinion, but not again. This is not me saying this is actually absolutely going to happen. This is my opinion. This is going to be a hell of a case to get through defamation and maybe even get through the unauthorized use, because I thought it was just a picture of the daughter and the wife. I didn't know these were representations of them looking like. So this triggers so many First Amendment issues. We're talking about it's not really them, and then it's a reasonable person who doesn't know, because remember, the jury is going to be reasonable people who don't know any of this, and they're going to say, look at this shirt, does this look like his wife and daughter? I'm going to say no. And if a reasonable person, again, you guys are in it, they're going to say, if a reasonable person not knowing this, and that judge is going to be a reasonable person and is going to look at this and say, could you look at these people and know who the real people were behind it, right? And I just don't think I think that's just going to be very, very hard to overcome in just this particular issue. If it was a picture of their clear faces and stuff like that, that's different. But here it's going to be tough. It's very tough.
And to add to that, if say he had their names on it, like if that said Leslie's and Sharita, they'll have a stronger case. But you can't go put your name on the particular shirt when it's not on it. That's why I said we understand as an audience what it's for. But
Boy, your mic is going out. House,
Your
check
mic
your
went
mic.
out, House.
Your mic went out right at that last part.
But
What it
I
sound
totally
like?
agree with. I totally agree with. What you're saying.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue, right? You're saying, okay, well, it's a picture of monkeys, so that's not them, right? You're leaving out the context of the entire conversation that was being had before. You're leaving out the context of the entire conversation that was being had before he presented the shirt. The picture in the middle is obviously Anton. He's holding up and he's saying, leave my family out of it. Now, the other night, there was a situation where Corey accused Poetic Flacco of being a grapist, right?
Yep.
Poetic Flacco said that he didn't, you if you said my name, trust and believe I would be suing. Lead attorney said that he still has a case because a reasonable person can determine that he was talking about Poetic Flacco.
I know Lead, and
a reasonable. We
Hold on, House, because he was asking Nate. Go ahead.
He was
Nate.
asking who?
He's asking Nate.
Well, I would say there's and this may be it with defamation sometimes. There's the logical leap, right? If it's on its face defamatory, and that's what we're talking about. When you look at that shirt, on its face, is it defamatory? Now, to determine that, you got to know, as a reasonable person who doesn't this is without the full context, looking at it, who is on that? Who is on that? I don't know any of those people. Corey, I can see, but the rest of those people, I wouldn't know, right?
What?
Hold on, E Black.
Without the full context that was just given. So now you're giving me full context. You're on a show. You're talking about all this stuff. Now, with that context, is it possible for me to identify that is his wife and daughter, even if he does say that and they're dressed up as monkeys? Again, there may be a claim there in California because, just like someone else earlier said, California is very liberal with this. But again, I'm just saying, under First Amendment core principles, it's going to be extremely, extremely hard to get this work of parody that is not directly looked like these people through a First Amendment analysis, because parody is highly protected. It's where the president's children are put in these cartoons. All the politicians are made in these cartoons. Matter of fact, there are so many cases where they do this type of stuff, even with the children of politicians, and they still can't recover. So I'm not saying this is impossible, But I'm saying it's very, very unlikely based on the facts that you guys have presented. Even if he said these are his kids, blah, 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 blah. Yes. But the judge is going to say on its face, with a reasonable person, look at this and believe so. And then when you even add the context, is it defamatory? And even in this room, it seems like you guys even have an issue with it even being defamatory. Some of you saying it is, but some of you saying it's clearly a joke. And I do want to ask you guys as a threshold issue, everybody on this panel, does anybody believe that the person who presented this shirt on the show, was that person spitting facts? Was he making factual claims? Is it an opinion show? Is it show like, am I watching a comedian or am I watching a news show? If I'm watching a news show, we got defamation. If I'm watching a comedian talk trash, talk shit, then I don't really got nothing. Because the context of the show is an opinion.
Okay. We're gonna go around the room. Angry Man, you want to answer that question?
Look, I'm not gonna argue with the lawyer because he has the expertise. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that. If he's saying to me, from everything that Nate is saying, what it sounded like to me, it sounded like, one, in order to win this case, you would have to have one hell of a lawyer. And you would also have to have the sympathy of the judge or the jury, whichever one it's going to be. That's if the case even makes it past the initial strike down.
Yeah,
that's what I'm taking from it.
Yeah, this like when I was moderating, and this is where I learned years ago about anti-slap. Because I didn't know what the hell it meant. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, this is anti-slap." I'm like, what the fuck is that? And finally, when I looked it up, I said, "Oh yeah." So I am in agreement that the only thing that's really going to stick, and I said this last night, E Black, so don't you dare try to deny it. The other claims are going to be hard to prove, but that last one, that seventh clause, the one, what is it called again? No, the sixth clause, the violation of California Civil Code. Yeah, Corey, he cooked on that one. But anyway, I'm gonna move on. Ahmed, because
but if you notice, before E Black tries to gloat, if you notice, Black, every time I spoke on this, I said, if this makes it past the initial getting thrown out.
Yeah, he about to. All right. Almond, go ahead. Do you think that, or would you consider Corey to be news or comedian?
Watching the interactions from the very beginning, from Anton being there up until the point where he presented the pictures in the shirt, nothing about that was comedy. For me, he was on there like he was stating facts, like he knew, you know what I'm saying, what was what and who was who. Gotcha. He didn't present any of that in a comedic fashion.
Gotcha. All right, Trey, news or comedy?
It was a comedian doing crowd work.
Okay. E Black?
I think obviously these were comedians or a situation in which two podcasters were having a back and forth, and any reasonable person could say, you know what, whatever they say after this, we believe them or we don't believe them based on what we like. So
y'all see how he didn't answer the question, right?
No, I answered the question. I just thought
you didn't. I said, was it news or was it comedy?
I literally said that both of these podcasters are going back and forth, and I don't think anybody knows.
Does anybody want to tell him? Does anybody want to tell him that he's not? Okay, so I'm gonna do it like this.
I'll tell him. Hold on. I'll tell him. E Black. Here's the thing, bro. What he just gave you was multiple choice. And when you didn't answer between the two choices, he's asking you to answer between the two choices.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do this the court way. Asked and unanswered. Could you please answer the question, sir?
Yeah, it's all jokes, man.
Okay, so you said that that Corey Holcomb's a comedian, not a newscaster.
Now you asking me more. That's why I contextualized in the beginning.
Same framework.
Wait. At first it was yes or no. Now I'm contextualizing.
Okay, cool. All right, I will move on. Thank you. Grover, what's going on, G?
What's up, man? It's called the 5150 show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think context matters. I don't think anybody should be going to the 5150 show me as a reasonable person for news. So if you're just asking me the question, do I think the context is in a comedian or a news show? I'd say it's a comedy show.
Gotcha.
I'm just being honest, right? You know, I'm not, like I said, I don't have a dog in a fight, but I got to be real. It's called the 5150 Show.
You could be on the jury.
Could be. If you're in
I'm
California.
biased too.
I'm just going to let you guys know they're never letting me on a jury in California. I just want y'all to understand. I got all types of opinions. They don't want to hear from my black ass. I hate everybody.
Everybody equally on an individual basis. We're best friends.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
hate
God.
everybody. I hate everybody. My wife ain't from here. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. My mom is Creole and got green eyes and talk and spit fire. People don't want to fuck with me.
Listen.
My opinions are crazy.
Really quick. Hey, Nate, you there for a second?
Yes, I'm right here.
Nate, you from New York, right?
Yes.
God damn it.
Hey, man.
Goddamn New York.
Cut that out, bro. Stop that.
Baby, Nate from New York too. Shit. It's like the 19th person. All right, so Nighters, when you see Corey Holcomb's show, do you see him as a comedian or as a newscaster?
Uh-oh.
Why you change it? As far as this Anton stuff, he hasn't been funny since January 13th.
Man, answer the damn question. See, y'all be doing this bullshit.
News.
Thank you. All right, and last, House of Hypocrites, because I have a very important question I have to ask next. The House of Hypocrites, news or comedy?
Man, you know this nigga a comedian. It's gonna always be comedic. It's comedy, bro. He was roasting.
Got you. All right, cool. So now my question, this is the very important question.
Hey, before you ask that question, E Black, you need to get the other hat too. You need to get the other one too, the one that says the open season on 13-year-olds in Iceland.
Because you do understand that's what Corey said, and it's on tape.
Get that one
You
too, bro.
You don't think that's going to be played in court?
When he talking about black women, so why y'all ride with that like it's gospel?
Was Corey a comedian when he said that he went to Iceland to have relations with a 13-year-old? Was that a joke as well?
Hold on, my microphone.
Take your time.
We argued the bad taste joke.
Hey, that man did not say he went there to do that with them kids, bro.
You sure? Have you seen the compilation?
I seen it.
Oh, okay, cool.
No,
So-
he made a joke, but he didn't say this was what I was doing, bro. Yeah, he didn't say that.
Okay, cool.
No. House of Hypocrites. Hold on, House of Hypocrites. Did he expressly say it? Absolutely not.
Did he infer it?
But this is what he said verbatim. He said in Iceland, you could be 13 years old. He said the only thing I didn't like is you can't give them cash or gifts after you done with them.
Exactly.
And then the dude asked him, he said, so are you saying you took advantage of the laws in Iceland? He said, all I'm gonna say is I had a good time in Iceland. That's what he said.
Now,
don't turn your head around now, E Black. Pull that damn 5151 back, that 5150 back up there. This man inferred having a good time in Iceland after he just talked about 13-year-olds and I had to give them gifts. So is he still comedy?
It's all satire.
As the viewer, you can interpret it as that. If you want to believe that particular man is going to do that, then that's on you. I say your feelings is valid. But if you looking at it in a distasteful, dark humor, comedic expression, then you say, okay, that man was just joking. Yeah, it's distasteful, but then he's just joking. You can look at it however you want to look at it, bro.
That's true.
But you can't tell me a comedian making dark jokes that all his jokes have to be something that he's living in actuality. Yeah. Like, oh, if you said it, it must be true.
Yes,
if you want to look at it like that, look at it like that.
There's a long history of comedians saying crazy shit.
Louis C.K.
I mean,
Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy,
Patrice O'Neal,
and most of those comedians, and most of those comedians, because I'm definitely a fan of comedy. Most of those comedians, the stuff they joked about are things they were involved in.
So listen,
I just
that.
Hold on.
The only comedian that was actually been found liable in these things was the Russell Brand dude, and that's recent.
That's not true because
actually Lenny Bruce was found liable for freedom of speech. Lenny Bruce was the comedian who put freedom of speech on a map for the United States. He was also credited as the first stand-up comedian or close to the first stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
I just want to say this: we can't Like, and I really want to say this firmly. I don't agree with putting anybody's child up. Just me personally, Angry Man could be, this motherfucker can roast. Angry Man could be kicking my ass. I'm not gonna say nothing about his kid. It's just the way I am, right? That doesn't mean my morality goes to anybody else.
Correct.
It also doesn't mean that the state of California is not there to say, hey, that's too far, and I don't give a fuck if you're a comedian. I don't care. That's all I'm saying. And so I find it disingenuous to like hang on every word this comedian says because we don't like him, but then give another comedian a pass because it's okay. So when Charlamagne the God and Andrew Schultz sit up there and say a whole bunch of gay stuff to each other, nobody's really thinking they're gay because they're married, right? But
No, I think they are gay.
Oh, my bad. I don't think they're gay because they're married. I'm just saying. Corey Holcomb says something, and we turn around and say it. So I'm just gonna say I just keep it even both ways. I just keep it even both ways. I believe that he's a comedian, and I'm not gonna take everything he says to heart. Now, just because he's a comedian, when he's saying something doesn't mean that he's immune if he breaks the law as a comedian. And so that's the only thing I said. When I was doing research, I said, oh, there's a law, there's a liability here. And I actually with somebody who Nate knows, I actually spoke to them about it and said, hey, what do you think about this? Because before I jump off the ground, I just go out there. I just at least try to get a second opinion to my opinion. But that's the only thing I'm saying. But I find it disingenuous that if we're going to hang on everything this man says because we don't like him, but let this man go. Because honestly, if you really believe, and somebody who's a poli-sci major in college, if you really believe the history of the Constitution, when somebody said I'm leading the ass to Washington, which is the beginning of satire, which was one of the first free speech cases, you're allowed to say that. You're allowed to talk shit to people. California put some stops on it for minors, and that's what I think the situation is. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, because guess what? I'm not going to court. I don't have to buy a lawyer. I'm just a person with a fucking opinion like everybody else. And so with that being said, I gotta get my ass out of here because I'm behind on my production schedule. I appreciate everybody.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Unless somebody wants to tell me that I'm an ass or something, then I'll sit here and take it. But if
well, I'm not gonna boot you off like E Black did last night. You know how you did the
that was kind of rude, E Black. That's why I was laughing when you was getting
Hey, wait, hold on. Was your feelings hurt? Did you feel some type of way? Because you could
sue. Actually, I went straight to work. I had some shit to do anyways. I stayed up. I was kind of happy.
Have you or a loved one ever been offended by E Black?
E Black, I'm waiting for you to say something about the kids so I can get that money out your shit. I need some new tires. I know
that's right.
Give me some of that skin color from the tires. I put some tread on it. Y'all later, man. Love you.
Damn, take it easy, man.
And by the way, there's a lot of content creators up here that I really have some respect for. Like
I try to be as connected as possible.
House of Hypocrites, Angry Man. First of all, you're kind of like the godfather of some of this shit. So,
wait, no, Grover, you can't say that. You can't say that because the moment you say that, they gonna be upset. They gonna be on your ass.
No, this is what I mean. I didn't
say Kevin Samuels was a godfather of space.
No. Just please hear me out.
Wait, hold on, Grover, watch this.
About a lot of anybody was really talking like that.
No. If you be nice to,
I apologize.
No. You haven't offended me, but if you be nice to Angry Man and actually give him flowers and give him like salutes and like handshakes and what ups, people be mad because they don't like the Angry Man. They said that he hates black women.
Don't like me. House of Hypocrites. I've been watching these documentaries you've been doing. I'm fucking jealous, and I make good videos, dude. I make good videos, and I'm jealous. I'm just telling you.
Hey, I wish I had your work at the dog. I said, damn, Dr. Wizard Kelly that came out of retirement, bro. I ain't never seen
him. Can I?
Yeah, House is 6 a day, and I edit everything myself, me and my partner. But we do 6 a day if we work.
Yeah, House is a problem, bro. I actually clicked on one of his joints. And I was like, wait a minute, am I watching the damn History Channel or something?
Bro, it be all epic and shit. It got music.
He got montages and shit.
Yeah.
He got heartbeats.
This nigga got a director of photography.
He got heartbeats and
fade out. Nah, wait, hold on. Can I be extremely? I
went to school for this shit though, but I never finished, bro, because I always kept switching.
Well, take your black ass back to school. What the hell are you doing?
Nah, we don't. You ain't got to go back to school. Let me say this right quick. Y'all know who I really hate on? I'm gonna tell you who I hate on.
Any content creator who uploads a video within the first hour, they got 7,000 views. Yeah, I'm talking shit about Nate the Lawyer. Nate the Lawyer and Asmongold. Nate the Lawyer just put up a video today, and I checked back in an hour, and that shit says 7,000 views. And I was like, how in the hell?
We don't know. That shit is number 6 out of 10 on his. He's disappointed in that shit.
Yeah, for real.
Hey,
Yeah,
but listen, I really
appreciate you, bro.
I just, by the way, this is my damn 3rd panel in 2 years now, so y'all ain't gonna see me.
We do this every weekend.
Nah, not me, man. Not me.
Okay, no problem.
I can't take all this incoming, man. Y'all too volatile. I'm old, shit.
This
But
ain't
hey,
Fight Club.
respect you guys at E Black. I'll catch your ass later, man. Y'all take
Hey,
care. And
holla at
everybody,
you.
thank you for letting me state my opinion. I appreciate you.
No problem. Nate, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I have like 5 AI, so I put it in 5 AIs, and they're saying the same things about the lawsuit.
Yeah.
The issues are the same exact thing. He's going to say it's this is ChatGPT, rhetorical hyperbole and insult comedy. The context in which it's being said matters. And for each claim, parody and caricature. The defendant's images were not their own; they were transformative, and parody and caricature is commonly associated with not being defamatory. Yeah, so all of the weaknesses. I asked him what the weaknesses of his words, and it just mentioned that. And again, it's asking the same question: would a reasonable person who's watching this particular content believe it's of a factual nature, or is it someone who is and it makes sense, right? If you're at a comedy show and somebody says outrageous stuff, and they're an outrage comic, you're not going to take it seriously. No reasonable person. And again, and a lot of times we like to individualize this, like what I think because I watch these people. How would I think? How would his audience think? But that's not what defamation. It's about what a reasonable person who doesn't know these people, because that's the jury. Would they believe it's defamatory? And
Nate, I got to hold on, E Black. Nate, I got a question. It's a real quick question, E Black. Nate, I got a question for you. Do cases like this set precedents?
It could, but again, the issue here is that there are. The way I like to explain it, I used to teach this in law school. So the way I like to explain it is that there are 2 levels when you're talking about defamation, and the first level isn't the state law, because you'll hear a lot of people talk about state law. It's the Constitution, because we have the freedom of speech. So you have to overcome that. So right now, if the person who's making the claims is protected, so now you have to go to a point where you have to convince now the court that these are not protected, and the reasons why they're not protected. And from what everyone said right now, when the question was asked, was he a comedian, was he a newscaster, that difference is so important, because if we go out to a comedy show and we pay $50 to watch somebody insult people, that's fully protected. If you're watching a comedy show on Tubi, that's fully protected. And if you're telling me that all his shows are essentially him making comedy, not to say he can't be defended, because the way you would generally have to catch a comedian in a defamation lawsuit is you would have to send them a letter previously, like I forget the name of the
cease and desist.
A cease and desist. And you would have to outline exactly why what they're saying is false, and that would put them on notice. And then if they say it again, you can hit them again. Dominion famously did this with Tucker Carlson and Fox News. Correct. That's why they won the $700 million.
Actually,
I'm not sure if that happened here.
Actually, you're all incorrect. It's called a cease and assist letter.
Oh, geez.
It's cease and desist.
Based on Corey Holcomb, it's a cease and assist letter.
Hey, Knight, it was a play on words, dog.
Absolutely.
So Nate, one of the things that I've always been harping on is,
Hey, I know one thing. I didn't got Nate to come to the damn show, so y'all better be supporting the show. I got Angry Man up here. I got Nate up here. I got House of Hypocrites up here. I got Omni up here. E Black, Almond, Nighters. Y'all better support the damn show. I didn't see Nate pull up to y'all shit. I don't see Angry Man pull up to y'all shit. Make sure y'all support the show.
So Nate,
I'm gonna talk my shit.
Yeah, go
that
ahead.
includes you too, E Black. You better be supporting the show.
So Nate, I've been harping on like the Drake UMG case, and
here we go.
Oh my God.
Okay. Nate, are you following me, Nate?
Yes, I'm following you.
Okay. It's the clinical
Did you even ask him if he's familiar with the case?
Are you familiar with the case?
Yes, I'm familiar with the Drake case.
Okay, so they break down dozens of reasons why any person reasonable watching the case, watching the situation, can assert that these people were not like serious. They're like, if one person said, "Hey, you're a PDF file," the next person says, "Hey, you beat your old lady." Anybody reasonable watching this environment can deduce that this is not real or anything is not fact. And I believe, once again, that Anton, he went on Yuck Mouth's podcast that same night. He went on his podcast that same night. He went on another podcast the next night. And I think he created the environment where any reasonable person believes that on that Tuesday, Corey's going to say something. And I believe it's the same scenario. I really believe that, like, this has been done before. And I just want you to kind of speak to that, if I'm like off base or if I'm just like not knowing what I'm talking about.
No, I think I understand your point. You're saying he's not only saying it on the show, he's going to these other places and continuing to say the same thing, right? But my response, or I'm thinking Corey's team's response is going to be, well, yeah, when I was on that other show, was I playing the character of Corey Holcomb, the comedian, or was I Corey Holcomb? You know, what would a reasonable
Anton
person
was going
think?
on other shows.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anton. This is the one that's making the defamatory claims, right? Am I mixing it up?
No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So here's how it worked. Anton and Corey got into it on January 13th because E Black just tried to disingenuously and misinform you. So Anton and Corey got into it on January 13th. Corey only goes live on Tuesdays, if I'm mistaken. It's either Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah, it's
He only
only
go live
Tuesday.
once a week. All right.
Tuesday,
So he only go live once a week. They got into it. It was like 11 o'clock at night. After they got into it, Anton went to his show called Room 9. And over there on that show, that's where he started his shit talk. And for the next week, he was going from show to show to show, talking shit. Yeah, I beat his ass. His hands were shaking. Well, I could beat his ass. His hands were shaking. He wasn't ready. All this, that, and the other. That Tuesday, people was like, I wonder what Corey gonna say. Tuesday comes up, and the first thing he talks about is, he was talking shit about him. Then he put up a picture of his daughter, the actual picture of his daughter.
Yeah.
That's where he made the statement, oh, this bitch look like she like a lesbian. She got to pay for pussy, and she ugly, and all this, that, and the other. Then the picture of the video of his wife came up, and then he was talking shit about her. And then he showed her picture. He showed the daughter's picture again.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like the week later. That's when he came out with the shirt.
Yeah.
I got that. Wait, so
Yeah,
I'm
I
not.
believe so.
So E Black, am I missing something?
I thought he came out with the shirt the same day.
No, it was the next.
No, it was the next week.
No, it was the next week.
Okay.
Right. So that's what he was referring to, Nate. That 1 week after they first got into it on January 13th of this year, that's when Anton went on multiple shows and was like, yeah, he was talking shit, just parading.
But the context is that the judges and the UMG and Drake said, hey, you're engaged in a war of words. So the conduct of my argument is the conduct for
Can't believe you're doing this again.
The conduct of Anton is actually detrimental to the case because it's not. It really muddies the water. The audience is basically watching entertainment at that time.
What you're arguing is that
you arguing rap beef with no.
Hold on.
Two people.
Another thing
I'm
y'all
arguing
don't-
defamation.
It was
just to add
defamatory
context
stuff
to it
said in the
all.
rap songs.
Another thing y'all don't know is Anton did speak about the relationship Corey Holcomb had with his children. So
After he went on the
that's
show?
a real reason why he came on that show the next week and started talking about his family.
Shout out to Fawcett Media with $50. Appreciate it. Hey, y'all, let me read these signatures.
shout
I had
out
to
to
read.
OG. That's crazy.
I had to read. Give me a second, y'all.
Deep in the water now.
We deep in the water. By the way, the link is pinned. I don't know what stream you're watching on. For those that's restreaming, please repin the link. Give me a second, y'all. I have to refresh my StreamYard because I did not see none of these super chats, but I did see this one pop up. So shout out to Fawcett Media with the $50 Super Ball. He says, informative panel. Shout out to all of y'all. I will be right back. Y'all continue the conversation. Let me refresh.
Hey, Sal, you know who Fawcett Media is, though?
Yes, I do. I know who Fawcett Media
He
is.
is definitely a Corey Holcomb supporter
Yeah, he's more than welcome to come up if he wants
and
to.
defender.
Boy,
He's more than welcome to come
hey,
up if
still
he
you
wants.
like you got
Shout out 5150
you got a
Nation.
goddamn line
Yeah.
up today, boy.
House of Hypocrites. I tell people all the time. I don't tell people that I'm connected. All you gotta do is just witness it. I'm connected to a lot of people. I just don't tell nobody nothing. But let me refresh right quick. I'll be right back, y'all.
Hey, can I do this while Sel does that? I want to apologize to House of Hypocrite for saying his ceilings was low. It was no beef, brother. I just, I was a little tipsy that night. But shout out to you.
Yo, you know that your ass would tipsy because I was in the garage.
No,
What garage?
I know,
You got a low.
No, forget that. What we need to do is we need to give House props for being one of the few YouTubers smart enough to get a sign. Shout out to House for getting a sign in the back, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to the House of Hypocrites light up. And the ceilings look higher.
Where's your sign at, E Black?
E Black ain't got a sign.
Why you hating over there?
Well, you know what your sign should be. Just turn.
Where you Beijing at? You ran out of red Kool-Aid?
Oh, hey, I tell you what, I tell you what, E Black, I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna do you a favor and I'm gonna buy you a sign. It's gonna say darkness, everybody. All
right, let me read these super chats right quick.
I'm gonna buy you some red.
Hold on. Let me read the super chats right quick. Shout out to Bad Duck with $5. He says, "Why do black people have nice cars but not nice houses? They haven't learned how to steal houses yet." Oh my god. Shout out to Bad Duck again with $5. He says, "What do black people and watermelons have in common? The greatest natural predator is black people." God damn it. Shout out to Brain with $5.
If we ever meet.
All right. I'm beating your whole ass. All right. Shout out to Brain with $5. He says, "I am an Anton fan, but the court and possibly see." Hold on. I am an Anton fan, but will the court and possibly jury see Anton as trying to bait Corey into a fight? And would that be taken into account by the judge? That's a good question. We may get to that.
Hey, can I say something to Bad Duck?
Sure.
Hey, Bad Duck, you know why white people don't steal anything?
Uh-oh.
Because they own the patent office.
That's actually pretty funny. Shout out to Bad Duck with $2. He said, "I supported the show and you ignored him. My bad. I apologize." Shout out to Money Boy Trey with $5. He says, "Paying ties. Appreciate you." And again, shout out to my man's Fawcett Media. Greatly appreciate you for the $50 super chat and being a sponsor of the show. Greatly appreciate it. Nate, you got something that you're presenting to us?
Yeah, this is from the Afro Man lawsuit, and I want to ask everyone. Here's what was actually posted. This was posted and it was said, but I want people to listen to it and tell me if they believe this is defamatory or not.
Hold on, is this the same case Sel said that we shouldn't pay attention to because it's different? Okay.
Oh my god!
Well, no, but I'm just asking you just for this particular part. Listen to what was said and the context in which it was said, and tell me if you think it was defamatory.
Wait, before you push play.
Afro Man.
Wait.
Till I got high, man.
Yes. Before you push play, thank you to Murray. Thank you for the $10 on the Cash App. Greatly appreciate you. And thank you for Malcolm D for the $5 Cash App. Greatly appreciate you, big homie. All right,
and just for the record, that case was hilarious.
Yes, it was. Funny as hell. All right, go ahead.
He got like a whole album.
Published it all over the internet in various posts. He found a photo of Detective Newland from a Shop with a Cop event that Mr. Newland attended with little kids, disadvantaged kids, kids in the community, shop with a cop, get them to know law enforcement. Mr. Foreman found a photo of Brian Newland holding one of these children that he worked with. And am I reading the date right? September 2nd, 2023? Yes. And I'm not going to ask you to read it, but I will read part of it just to make sure it's in the record and that people are clear on what it said. "This is the uneducated, can't count pedophile police officer that stole my money. His name is baby-making Brian, child molesting, newborn baby mama, newborn Newland, Detective Brian Newland. I have a song coming out about him. The chorus goes like this. I pledge allegiance to the flag. Brian Newland is a flag. He used to play with little toys. Now he plays with little boys. Watch your little boys around Brian Newland. He's very bold. He will fondle little boy's testicles and butt cheeks right in front of you in broad daylight. This is a public service announcement. Stay safe. Did I?
Defamatory or not?
Absolutely.
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 So, but you know what? But you know why it was found not to be defamatory? Because Afro Man is a comedian.
Is a
And the
rapper.
jury said no reasonable person would believe that cop was a pedophile because Afro Man said it.
I believe he's
okay. So this is what I want to ask because it
It's
seems
hard.
Like
it's hard.
this is what I want to ask. This is
yeah. Pause. Serious pause on that. You
But
can't
this is
say
what
it's
I wanna-
hard after that.
This is what, crazy, y'all, crazy.
Hey, bro, he said it's hard. Not me.
It's hard to it's difficult to win a
Hey,
defamation.
go to commercial, Will. Go to commercial.
Go to commercial. Yeah, let me throw up a commercial right quick.
All serious and shit.
Right. Let me throw up a commercial. Let me throw up a commercial right quick.
Can you hear me? Is this thing on?
Yeah, it's on. But let me just throw up a commercial. Shout out to my wife for reaching over 30,000.
Watch your mouth. Don't say some fly shit to me and you can't handle what you dish out. I have yet to mature to the point where I can allow you just to talk.
Since I ended the video early, you know, all y'all got to come off mute manually. But do I say defamation? Hell yeah. You saying some shit like that about me? You just defamed the shit out of me. Comedian or not, I'm going to try to sue. I might waste money, but goddamn it, I want discovery. I want all that shit.
But this is what I want to ask Nate, right? Okay, so if I just decide to become a comedian tomorrow, I could just say whatever I want, is what we're establishing.
No,
pretty much.
You can say whatever you want in certain context, and the context of a show, and a context of people believing, because there are times you are in character, and times you are not in character, right? There are times you are performing and times you are not performing, and sometimes it's muddy. But I would say if Afro Man, for instance, was giving an interview with a news organization and said something like that, that's different context than him being Afro Man on the internet and making fun of the cops, right? Because he's a comedic figure. So that's why I said context matters, really matters in these particular cases.
Nah, I got you. One second, Angry Man. I gotta follow up. One second. Okay.
Angry
So
Man,
I
you got
noticed on that particular post, right? On that particular post.
Damn it,
it wasn't a page that said Afro Man. It was a page that used his legal name. So how were they able to argue that he was in character and that wasn't something personal?
Well, even though the post had his name on it, it was Afro Man, and it was Afro, and people knew that account as Afro Man's account. So,
That's
like for
crazy.
instance, my account wasn't Nate. Hasn't always been Nate the Lawyer. It was something else. It was Nate Brody, spelled differently. But people knew I was Nate the Lawyer, but YouTube was able to change it. So what I played that to show you how hard it is to win a defamation suit, even when something like that, I would say that was defamatory. It's crazy, but the jury, and it passed motions, but the jury said that no reasonable person would believe that Afro Man saying this guy was true. No reasonable person. And I'm saying we're not.
He told him he was a rapper. He got away from saying he was a rapper, not a comedian.
So because it's Afro Man, he has this character, and people just don't take it serious. The general public doesn't take that persona seriously. That's the reason why it's not defamation.
You have to believe it's true. People have to believe it's true. Like, say if I said that about that cop, people would more likely believe it's true because they say, "Well, Nate looks at the facts." If Nate says it, it's more likely we believe it's true. Because I'm not doing a comedic thing. But Afro Man, and think about it. But he says his song
All the
because I
time,
got
yeah.
high, right? So matter of fact, the crazier things he says, the more in this case, it was even argued because it was so crazy, because it was so extreme, it makes it less likely that a reasonable person would believe it to be true. Right?
Okay.
The more
So
extreme
talk
you go,
crazy
it's
all
gonna be
the
less
time
likely.
and you'll get away with it. I
The
got you.
crazier
Okay.
you talk,
Yep.
but again, there's limitations to that. But
Okay,
in this
so-
case, it worked for him. The crazier you talk, the less likely people were to believe it.
Okay, so I wish E Black hadn't left because there
Oh,
was
he's
something.
still back here. My bad. Go ahead.
So there was something very important in that video we just watched. He posted a picture of a police officer holding a child. What did you notice about that child, E Black?
Face was covered.
The face was covered.
The face was covered. So there's a couple of things. That case was in the state of Ohio.
Correct.
This case is in the state of California.
Yeah.
Would Afro Man have gotten the same result if it was the cops' children he was defaming and posting their photos with nothing over their face?
That's a different. That now we're talking about.
There we go.
Now
we're in the
I
ballpark.
think
Now
the
we're talking
court
about the
covered
case.
the face.
No.
Yeah, the court covered it.
And that's why, wait, and that's why, and this is me defending Will to E Black. That's why Will said the case was different. Okay, that's why he said it was different, because this case and everything that Nate said, I believe him when he says it's going to be a difficult case, right? I don't believe E Black saying it's going to be a difficult case because you ain't no lawyer, but I'm just telling the truth. I'm gonna take the expert's opinion over a layman's opinion. You feel what I'm saying? But here's the thing, right? The case is different, and even though it's a hard-fought case, there are some differences that make the circumstances different. This is what we were trying to explain to you, E Black.
So this is why I said this. Wait, this is why I said this. Black is just back too. This is why I said this, right?
I thought you're supposed to be a moderator and not a part of the.
I'm trying to keep it going. That way we won't get deadened into this one point. Yeah. That's my job as the host. So we won't be deadened into this one point. I want to be able to move the conversation along. Thank you, sir, for reminding me of my job. Motherfucker. Anywho, as I was saying, so E Black, that's why I was saying what I was. Listen here. Nidus, I ain't cussed you out in a minute, bro. It will be today. I promise you it will be today.
I miss you. I miss you.
Light skinned Jesus, you bet.
I miss you too. I don't know what it is with y'all light skinned dudes. Some
and to the other thing too, my bad. To Bad Duck. Talking about, hello, my white friend, bro. I need to have a conversation with you. I got to find out how I can cash in on my white blood.
For real.
Yeah.
Honestly. By the way, that's a good segue. Bad Duck with $2 says, Omni, you are the first one I'm hugging. And Bad Duck with $5 says, Angry Man, how are you tonight, my white brother? I appreciate
And why does that duck look gay?
Oh, I'm
Angry Man.
I have to just run because I got to pick up my daughter. She just called me to go pick her up from this party. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you guys for putting up with me for the past hour.
Thank you, Nate. Been watching you many years, bro.
Nate, will you be doing? Nate, hold on, wait. Nate, will you be doing a video about this?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna break it down. I'll break it down and I'll put all the case sites and everything because I got to look at the California law because I do think the minor does color it, but I want to get all the facts before I put it out, and I'll break it down. So yeah, I'll put a video out. You should expect it next week.
And
matter of fact, I'll even reference parts of this live stream in it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And Nate, before you go, have I been cooking? Like this would be
Oh my God.
No.
You still answering the meat stretch for you?
I've been cooking. Just tell me.
You have not been cooking and you cook.
Only water and you burnt it.
So just say it. Just say it.
You burnt it.
Say
Let
it.
him answer.
No. Say it. No, wait. Say it the correct way. You Black. Just ask him to meat stretch for you. Just ask him. Say, will you meat stretch for me? Just ask him.
Yo, he doesn't have to answer that. Look, Nate
he said he gotta go.
He gotta go pick up his daughter, man.
He gotta go pick up his daughter, man. Got you up out of there. You didn't get the answer you wanted, did you?
E Black been burning water.
Listen,
No. You have not been cooking. You are cooked.
hey, shout out to Murray for the $10 for the on the Cash App side. Greatly appreciate you. Yeah, that was just filibustering until he got up out of there. I know. You'll be okay.
Hey, E Black, just so you know, bro, I would destroy you in court, bro.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
Oh my God. Can I say something really quickly? I think the biggest point that Nate made. The biggest point that Nate made was they have to get past the constitutional question first. And that was the whole point I was making the whole time. That's the whole point that E Black is on. And I think that's the point that the other side's missing out on. Just because someone's saying something that you don't like, and just because there's a nuanced law about it somewhere in, middle of California, doesn't mean that it's going to actually go anywhere. It doesn't mean that it actually,
bro, go back to smoking.
It doesn't mean anything.
Hey, can you not put that
It
on the
doesn't mean
screen, my
anything.
brother?
It doesn't mean anything.
And pull your camera away a little bit.
Keep that off the
You're
camera.
actually looking in your nostrils.
Keep that off the camera, please.
Yeah. Pull back a little bit because we're looking directly into your nostrils. We do not want to see your brain.
This is
And
the
we
reason.
don't want to see the evidence why you've been taking the L since you've been on this panel.
Yeah. So this is the reason why this is why I'm glad that Nate pulled it. Now I did send the invite and I did tag lead attorney. I don't know if lead attorney's listening. I have been on the panel with him before. Again, I'm more connected than a lot of y'all think. But when it comes down to it, when we talk about the precedent, because I can agree, and I said this last night on E Black Show, a lot of this might not pass, but that last one, that 3344, it might stick.
We need one.
And I agree with you on that.
Yeah, he said I literally just came back to listen and heard E Black asking if he was cooking. I'm dead. Appreciate you, Grover. That bad duck was $2 more. He said, "Anger man, when you find out, let me know. And when you find out, let me know. Shit, I'm trying to find out if I got white blood too." Shout out to my man's Deucey MacGyver for coming a member. Greatly appreciate you, big homie, 2 times. So this is the reason I wanted to ask, right? Because I need y'all to understand just where this can go. And I, as an individual, as a man, I don't care how this goes. To be honest with you, I hope it goes in the route that is going to prove all of my talking points and my beliefs and my values true. That y'all are just about to become more degenerate. Because if it's going to be okay for Corey to say what he said about Anton's daughter, please don't complain when it's yours. Don't complain when it's your kids up there on the Summer Jam screen. Wait, hold on, wait, time out, hold on. Wait, I want this to be well understood. If we are agreeing, that's a lot of ice cream that you just took, big homie. That's my ice cream. Oh, don't worry about it. You're gonna work it off. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We got a whole backyard that you can go. Go ahead, go to your room. Go to your room. Go to your room. Go to your room. Nope. Go to your room. Go to your room. Go to your room. That's a big ass thing of ice cream that you just took. Don't worry about that. Ice cream expensive. Don't worry about it. I got me and your mama been
$9.
Motherfucking tomatoes.
$9 a gallon.
In the backyard. Take your ass to your room. Good night. Bye. Gone. Rob,
I mean, yard work for
hey,
Sunday.
you remember you said you wanted that tomato garden? She about to be picking that shit up tomorrow. You see that big ass bowl of ice cream she just took? Oh, let her eat the ice cream. Your ass gonna be out there with her. Nah, how about that? Anyway. Hey, when you talk shit to a New York woman, you gotta dodge a little bit.
That's a fact. Learn that the hard way. That's a fact.
But no, so the dangerous precedent that's being set here is that y'all are going to go off the rip. Corey got away with it. I could do it too. As long as I do it in comedic context, I'm gonna talk shit about kids.
That's exactly why I was getting at. So
it's not even comedic context, dude.
But the question is this: do y'all really want to open that Pandora's box?
No,
I promise
they don't. They got to learn the hard way. They got to learn the hard way.
I'm gonna step out for a second.
I believe they do. They do want to open that Pandora's box.
Until it actually happens to them, then they're gonna wish that bitch never opened.
No, you know what?
It's been open.
The box egg before you get folded like an omelet, nigga.
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air. How could his hands do this? Oh, someone get him out the air.
Cracker, they got your ass again. See you back in 15, big homie. I tried to tell you, but we see you back in 15, Cracker. If you want, you can pay. You can pay.
White Jesus just booted black Jesus.
Wait.
Hey, I was just about to step out for a smoke. If y'all want to bring it back, it's $20. You can bring yourself back, or somebody can bring you back. Other than that, holla at you, Crackers. We'll see you back in 15 minutes. That will be 7:30.
That's messed up because I wanted to ask him what's it like being a hippie in 2026.
You can ask him in 15 minutes. Let me go outside to smoke right quick. I'm gonna join from my phone.
Oh man.
But no, Angry Man, you was making a point about Pandora's box. Elaborate, please.
Yeah, y'all don't want to open that box because here's the thing. Corey's roasting and what he did is as messed up as it was, it pales in comparison to what other folks can do.
Oh yes, for sure.
So
that was light work.
There's a reason that you maintain a standard. And I'm sorry, the only way to enforce standards is with when it comes to niggas, the only way to enforce standards is with litigation.
But as far as like disrespectful jokes, they brought up Lenny Bruce, but I don't know if y'all remember when Patrice O'Neal went around in these news companies defending Opie and Anthony and Imus. Imus' joke was about nappy-headed hoes.
Yep.
Opie and Anthony joke was about a bum graping what's her name? Condoleezza Rice.
And they got canceled for it too.
For a short little minute.
The Imus never recovered from that.
This is true.
He came back after that.
He didn't recover from it though.
He didn't recover from it, but he came back. And Patrice was one of the biggest people that was. See, the thing about comedy and dark comedy itself, because the thing is, if you're trying to be funny. So the most recent thing they've been talking about lately is, because Drewski did the thing about Eric, whatever her name is, you had Jake Paul come out and say he wants to do blackface.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure when he does blackface, he's going to try to be as racist as he possibly can be. And we have a lot of people that's, saying, no, if you do blackface, that's racist. I think that Robert Downey Jr. did the best thing of blackface ever. That was from Tropical Thunder.
Well, see, that's kind of different, Nice, because I mean, dark humor is one thing. If it's in the course of what you're doing, and you just start, going through your routine, and it hits you, and it come out. It's something completely different when you step on the stage, or in this case, you turn the camera on because you're going for the sole purpose of going down this dark road. That's different. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of what differentiates, comedy from, you just fucked up.
Well, yeah. When I look at Drewski, I think he didn't do anything that was necessarily distasteful. He just did exactly what that woman did, right? But if you do blackface, this is where I look at it. Be as racist as you possibly. What you gonna say? Chicken and watermelon?
Okay, well, here's the thing, right? Because this is where I have an issue with the culture. There are certain things that are specific to us culturally, right? So from one position, we'll be like, oh, Drewski didn't do anything wrong because there's no cultural implication of him making fun of a white woman and doing whiteface. But culturally, Jake Paul shouldn't do that because, there's implications of it racially. So we understand that as far as our culture. We understand it's a no-no for us to find it acceptable for people to do blackface. But then we'll turn around and act like we don't understand the cultural context of a comedian joking about underage kids inappropriately. That's part of our culture too. We have a culture where we don't like it when you mess with kids like that. But we're gonna act like we're gonna suspend that for Corey Holcomb.
Well, if you look at it, Angry Man, we have a history. We don't like it, but we got a history of letting it go. That's why all these, we got all these uncles and mama boyfriends, the cousins, and all of that. And folks looking at them sideways at the cookout, but you still letting them come to the cookout.
Yeah,
and that's the implication. That's the implication that I've been speaking on ever since this happened. Is how culturally we claim that we have an issue with this. But we keep picking and choosing. We keep allowing people to violate when we shouldn't be allowing them to violate.
But Jake Paul should do blackface. He should do it. I want to see it.
I think he should do it 100% and live whatever the outcomes of him doing blackface.
Let it ride.
Exactly.
Well,
so Jake Paul, please.
Before we go further, I just want to touch back on just one specific point right quick. E Black, do you not understand why I was saying that the Drake UMG lawsuit that has nothing to do with this because there was no children brought up or affected in that?
I think and that was my point
Here
altogether.
comes the
is that-
rich.
No, that was my point altogether. You guys were saying that it had nothing to do. I was saying it absolutely had everything to do with the first 1 through 5, and then I agreed with you on number 6.
Right, but the thing is, right, this is how I'm looking at it, and I really do appreciate Nate coming up and giving his professional look at it, and also Grover coming up. But you know what, all of y'all, let me give a shout out to all of y'all on the panel for y'all coming up and y'all giving y'all 2 cents as well. The thing is, right, when I look at this particular case and specificity, this case is different from every other case because this is the first time that a child is coming to sue the person who they believe accosted them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think once again the premises is all still the same. The premise of defamation is all the same. So I understand where you're coming from, but you're neglecting the fact that the way that a judge is going to conclude on this case is going to still reach the same matters.
So E Black, you believe the judge is going to pretty much tell his daughter, well, although he brought your name up, hey, it is what it is. You just got to take it.
Because he was mad at your daddy. He talked about you, but
no,
it's
it's not because he's mad at your daddy. It's because your daddy engaged in a podcast beef, and you were.
Okay, well, Corey didn't care no more, and the beef was over. The next week, he could have talked about something else.
Wait, the beef was over. Hold on. This is what I'm saying. Y'all talk and y'all don't stop and think about what you're saying. The beef was over.
What I'm saying.
The fact that it's
literally wait. You said y'all talk and don't think about what you're saying. You literally just now said it's not because of your daddy, but it's because of your dad. That's what you just said.
I never said.
You did.
So I will ask this question again. The judge should tell his daughter, although your name was brought up, it is what it is. You just got to deal with it. Is that what you're agreeing to? Yes or no?
Yes. Essentially, yes, because of the actions of his father.
So,
his father.
And I'm going to bring up my original point. When you talk about slavery, is it their fault that they were enslaved, or was it their parents' fault that they was enslaved?
Are we talking about a defamation case? Like
oh my God!
Y'all keep bringing up these scenarios, and they never add up to how historically defamation cases are judged. And
let me ask you a question. When you talk about hold on for a second. When he just brought up slavery, are you telling me slavery was not a legal matter?
Yes, it was.
I'm gonna let that sink in your head for just a second before I say anything else.
Is property tax a legal matter?
Oh my fucking!
Like you
so
guys,
slaves were property.
You guys,
yes.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, they were.
You guys keep basically trying to fit in either criminal misdemeanors, criminal murder, criminal robbery, criminal this.
No. Everybody get out the way. E-Black, because I notice you keep hyper focusing on that. This is podcaster, so everything goes. That's what you've been doing since you've been out here, correct?
No, you know why? You know why?
Why?
Because of court. Because when judges judge a case, they look at precedents. They look at previous court cases.
Better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet, nigga.
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air. How could his hands do this? Oh, someone get him out the air.
The people have spoken.
E-Black.
The people have spoken.
Where is this case that is exactly like this that we supposed to be using for precedent? I need to know which one it is so I can look it up.
So, because what I'm trying to tell E-Black is him hyper focusing on this being podcasters and podcast beats is irrelevant. Because all she has to say is this: they can engage their podcast beats, leave me out.
Right.
That is very simple, and the judge gonna be like, yeah, they could have engaged in this beat without bringing you into it. So because he involuntarily did that, and also he didn't have consent from both parents to bring you in the beef, boom, There you go.
That's what I thought, Chris J, because to have her, she's not a public figure. To have her actual picture up there and do a whole show calling her. And listen, last Tuesday, he was talking about her again.
Huh?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
He made a song about her Tuesday.
Yeah.
Did he specifically mention her name or
yes?
Who made the song?
He's a bigger fool than I think. Jesus Christ.
And he hasn't took down none of the shows. He still hasn't show up.
Yeah,
with her.
we know that.
She's an athlete, so I would argue she's a public figure.
There's no
Oh,
sweet Jesus.
She's not
Hey,
LeBron.
Hey,
listen,
yo, you know what?
listen to the dark. Listen to the dark.
So you saying every high school basketball player is a public figure because they play ball?
Yes, they are.
I'll go a step further. Is every middle schooler or little league person a public figure?
Yes.
So listen, Chris, you got to defend darkness because two darknesses is up here defending bullshit. E Black and I don't know what his name is, Trey. So yeah, the darknesses is somehow going along with babies being defamed. You don't want to protect the children.
I'm going to just.
I'm talking to Trey. Because he showed his pearly whites and it's up here somehow defending
I've
it.
said several times it's despicable. I said it's been done to me, but I can't tell somebody how to fight. Just because I won't personally do it or I think it's wrong doesn't mean he don't have the choice to do it. I can't say right because I ain't gonna
Listen, Trey, I would agree with you if this was Anton pressing the case. This is the actual daughter pressing the case and her mom.
I got a question. I got a question. I got a question. I got a question.
Can you prove it?
I got a
Can you
question.
prove it?
I got a question. I got a question.
Can you prove it wasn't?
I got a question. Because I keep
Actually,
hearing
I
you
can.
say-
But they don't have to prove it wasn't. You have to prove it was.
Hold on, y'all. There's a question on the floor. Hold on.
I got a question. Because just like you said earlier, somebody had a right to be despicable. Now you're saying you can't tell somebody how to fight.
I said that the whole time. I started the show off saying it.
And I keep hearing this. Especially amongst black people. You can't tell anybody how to fight. All's fair in love and war. Explain to me, other than the street, what type of fighting don't have rules to it?
Any fight, if you at a fight, you may be punching. Somebody may bite you. Somebody may kick you in the dick. Somebody may grab
He said
you.
other than the street. He said other than the street.
I'm gonna say it again.
It don't have to- a schoolyard fight don't have- a fight
I'm
don't
gonna say
have
it again.
rules no matter
I'm gonna
where
say
you're
it
at. It don't
again.
have to be the
I'm gonna
streets.
say it again. I'm gonna say it again. Other than some niggas in the street, what fighting doesn't have rules?
A bar fight.
That's the street.
That's the street.
Try to keep up with us, my brother.
Darknesses.
So all fights are
Wait,
so are
check
you
this out,
saying
check this
all
out,
fights
check
are
this out,
street
check
fights?
this out, check this out, check this out. Do y'all see now why our community is the way it is?
Yep.
Do you see it now? Because there's no rules. There's no rules. And anytime somebody tries to point out what the rules should be or what the standard should be, niggas got an excuse for it.
And
But
you
you know
can't
what?
win
If
a
you stay right-
game
Well,
if
if we
there's
stay
no
right-
rules.
Wait. If we stay right here for one, wait, Trey.
That's a
one-
bar right there.
People cheat.
That's a bar. I like
People
that.
not cheat.
You're not understanding. And he said leave the streets out of it. But you keep trying to make it the streets. Wait. Trey, brother Trey. In a sanctioned fight is rules. Listen,